There are 4 stages involved in launching a ballistic missile. The first one is the boost stage. It starts at the point the missile is launched and ends after all the rocket fuel is burned and the missile is propelled into the exosphere. The next stage is the post-boost stage. It starts after all the fuel is burned and ends after the re-entry vehicle is ejected. Next is the intermediate course stage. It takes place after the re-entry vehicle is ejected and lasts until the missile enters the exosphere. Then comes the final stage. It starts when the re-entry vehicle enters the exosphere, and it lasts until it reaches its ultimate target on the ground. Missile defense systems use military satellites to detect rocket emissions during the initial boost stage of a missile. But this new nuclear weapon employs the railgun's ability to fire projectiles at ultra-high velocities instead of using a rocket. That's why it can't be detected by today's missile defense systems. And on top of that, the re-entry vehicle also uses stealth technology. It's so accurate that its 50% zone comes close to 50 meters. That's as good as the best ICBM.
A highly accurate, undetectable, uninterceptable nuclear weapon. We wouldn't even be able to tell where it came from.
And that's not all. A standard ballistic missile uses a 2-stage or a 3-stage solid fuel rocket for its propulsion system. Besides costing lots of money, safely maintaining the solid rocket fuel and readying the missile for launch requires a lot of work. But a railgun-launched nuclear warhead avoids all of those problems. And it's cheap, too.
It's the perfect nuke. A general's dream.
And the world's nightmare.
I'm here. Chat, I'm so tired. Not like tired, but you know when you just like, I've been working so long. I've been working for 14 days straight. 14. Wait. Week ago was 7 days. 4 days. 11. Red Planet. Wait a minute. Don't write that. 7 days. 7 days. 7 days. 10. 11. I've been working for 11 days straight. 11 days straight. Sorry. It feels like 14. Feels like 2 weeks. This is like the longest period of time that I have done of work without having a day off in a while. A country while. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We have got Krill in the chat, Middle Earth Marxist, Steph, Ninny, we got Johnny, we got DJ, we got Soph, we got B-Rat. How are we? How is everybody doing? Did you all enjoy the video? Have you watched it yet? If you've not watched it, don't worry. You can go watch it after the stream or later on, whenever you want, at your leisure. Just watch it, because it's good. Everyone said it was good, so that means it's definitely good. There's no mistakes in there whatsoever. There's always a mistake. There's always a mistake. There's like a bit in the video you've probably noticed if you watched it, where I say 3 years. I'm talking about there's like a bit where Kevin McDonnell is like trying to get people to sign up to his deals or whatever, and he says, oh, in 3 months, if I come back in 3 months, the guy's he's gonna phone me up in 3 months and he's gonna take the deal out of my hands. And I say 3 years, and I just can't believe that I got that wrong, because it was like proper there on the script and everything. It said 3 months. It didn't say 3 years on the script. I was just like, brain gone. And I hadn't even been working for that long at that point when I was filming. So anyway, whatever. Hey Doggo Duck, how's it going? Looking forward to Danny Dyer's UFO experience. Oh yeah, it's great. It's proper good fun. We were watching it last Thursday. It was so fucking funny, honestly. That's the thing with music too. Every piece of music someone holds dear to the heart has some bit in it that's a fuck up in some way. Yeah, no one will know though, will they? That's the thing. Like when you watch it, it's just like people won't know or won't care. Because when you make stuff, it just becomes such a proper, like, you're focused on it so much, right? So you think about it way too much. I think about it way too much. Sorry, I'm still eating my dinner. Chat, you should all go and follow Sophie, because she's in the chat and she's really cool. My co-host on Red Planet, fellow YouTuber. Mule needs the fuel. Yeah, it's true. Me looking at my old drawings that I stressed out over and I can't figure out what I didn't like about them anymore. Yes, right. Sometimes you don't even notice yourself. I know that I've felt that way about every video that I've made, and I couldn't tell you what parts about the video they are that I was stressed about at the time that I was making them. I just couldn't tell you, even remotely, right? But I'm really glad it's out. I got a piece of work done today for a client, so I got paid from that as well. So I've got dough. I went to my job center appointment. She was happy with me. She didn't give me any shit. Went to Aldi, did a bit of shopping, got some litter for the cat. Trying to think what else I did. Just been working solid, really, ever since I woke up. I woke up about 9, started work, went to the job center appointment, did a bit of shopping, got home at 1, carried on working until the premiere. And the premiere was work anyway, because the entire time I'm watching the premiere, it's not like Twitch. You can't hide your view count during a premiere. It's really stressful. So I'm like watching it the whole time, and there's like a bit that I was really screwing over in the video that was like, I'm doing some maths and I'm talking about equity and profit and tax and shit like that. You'll know which bit I'm referring to if you've watched it. And I was talking to so many people about that. I was like, is this right? Is this correct? And I was some people were like, I have no idea what you're on about and I can't help you with that. And I was like, oh great. So that gives me even more responsibility to know what it was that I was talking about. In the end, I had to speak to my dad because he's fucking like done property and flipping houses and shit. So I was like, right dad, listen, I'm making an anti-landlord video, and he was like, what's wrong with landlords? I didn't have that conversation with him. No, he knows that I hate landlords. He knows that I was in the tenants union. He knows that I was the chair of the tenants union. So I was asking him about that, and he was like, yeah, that all sounds spot on. And he actually gave me, like, an extra bit at the end. There's, like, an extra bit where I'm talking about how long it takes to sell a property. Because I had no idea about any of this stuff. Like, he has obviously done that a couple of times, and he was like, yeah, there's people that will organize surveys so that they can, like, find a fault in the property, and then, you know, they'll get you to bring the price down and shit. And I was like, shit, I didn't even know about that. That actually makes his like, little scheme so much less attractive. Crazy. I'm knackered, I'm fixing stuff at work still. We're supposed to be out an hour ago. Oh, Johnny, solidarity, mate. Fuck that. Hey, have a laptop, how you doing? It just shows you care and take it seriously. Yeah, I do, I take it really seriously. Like, you know, like, if you've watched the video, you know what's at the end. I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But, you know, these people have a real effect on real people's lives in an extremely harmful manner. And it's very important that people understand that. And it's very important that we understand it to, like, the best of our ability, right? Very, very, very important. Something that I just want to do with the chat here, because I replaced the... That was heartbreaking stuff, yeah. Yeah, you know, that's the life of, like, knowing people in that situation and that, you know what I mean? Like, when you're a tenant union organizer, you meet people like that all the time, every day. Some people in much worse scenarios that, like, probably wouldn't let me film and interview them because they're so worried and scared about, like, how they look, or, you know. Yeah, we have to do everything we can to destroy these systems. 100%. Literally, do stuff like this just like it's Tuesday. Like, for every one person that we know about like that, there are about fucking 100 that you don't, right? Gonna watch part 1 and part 2 after the stream. All the gruesome landlords. Hell yeah, doggo duck. Yeah. Part 1's insane, by the way. Part 1 is fucking the first one that I did on Samuel Leeds. Like, I can't believe that's... I just can't believe that guy... You'll have to watch the video to know what I'm on about, but it's like the shit that guy does is fucking mental. Absolutely mental. Climate anxiety, painting, and a side of mystery joint pain. Oh shit, half a laptop. I'm sorry to hear it. Hope you get it sorted. Get some painkillers down you if you got him. I don't know what it's like in Canada. Can you get fucking... Yeah, the chainsaw guy. And that was a lie. That's one of the first things I point out in the video. Like, the guy is just like, yeah, no one actually lived here. He was like, I'm evicting a tenant with this chainsaw. And no one lived there. There was no one in there. It's all just a stunt. It was all just like, look how big my landlord dick is. It's just so embarrassing. Interestingly enough, when I was doing the Samuel Leeds one, I had like a moment when I was doing this one as well, where I was like, because if you look at Kevin McDonnell in the first video that I'm reacting to in that video, he's completely different to the way that he is in the last video. The last video is like one of the more recent videos that he's done. And in that first video that I'm reacting to, he's very, like, meek and he's like a worm, right? He like a real worm. Like, he just has nothing, and like, you feel pity for him. It is genuinely like a Smeagol moment where you're like, this guy has been bullied and twisted so much by the system that he's become evil. Like, that's what's happened. And actually, he's like just like a normal person who was clearly bullied at school. Like, I know people at my school who were like him, you know, they acted in the way that he did. And I thought that way about Samuel Leeds as well. Like, when I first saw some Samuel Leeds videos, I was like, this guy's just like, he's been bullied. He's been like, you know, punched and beaten up because he's fat or like whatever, or, you know, and then like what happens is they just become like horrible, nasty, misogynist Andrew Tate guys. You know, I remember seeing a comment on one of Kevin's videos, and I didn't highlight this because I didn't have time. There was already so much stuff that I covered in the video that like I didn't have the time to look at it. But there's this one comment of someone that's clearly is like voice coach or personality coach or something that was literally saying in one of his videos, I can see some improvements with your voice. So he's getting coached. And this was on like a bad video that he did, like one of the bad ones that's like really problematic and fucking fascist and shit. And I was like, he's getting coached to be more of a domineering patriarchal man. And it's like, you just like the sympathy is not really sympathy, it's pity, right? Because like, you know that they're landlords and they're still causing harm, they're still horrible people, they're exploiting people, they're stealing people's wages, you know, we know all this stuff. But like, on top of that, there's this like overwhelming like, bro, like, you know, you could have just like not been like this, like, anyway, it's just like overwhelmingly stressful that people just are just like, yeah, sweet, I'm just going to use this system to completely exploit people. Right, I just wanted to trim down the chat a hot second. It's like that, right? If I do that, that's fine. Because you can't see like the YouTube logo. Where is it? Social banner. I just like move that a tiny bit. There you go. That's right, that's fine, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, fixed it. Okay, and then maybe it could be like a little more... Maybe chat can just be a little bit more... There you go. Yeah, there you go. Alright, cool. Maybe just a tiny bit more. Tiniest bit, just get... You're doing great. I know I'm doing great. Don't you worry. I'm killing it. Right, okay, good. Alright, good. There we go. Let's consume the screen. It's just all chat. The chat stream. Just one day, like a stream where the whole screen is chat. And I'm not even saying anything. We've just got tunes on and we're just chatting. Literally just chatting. Actual just chatting. Sounds awful, I'm in. Yeah, me too. Can't wait for the djmuel forum stream. Live chat forum. What if here's another bad idea. What if you do a stream where you pretend to be an AI? You're like a VTuber and you pretend to be an AI so that sicko tech losers come into the stream and start asking you like legitimate questions. And they say things like, yo, like, I shat my pants in bed and my girlfriend thinks that I'm the problem. Am I the asshole? And you're just like, yeah, you should wash your bottom. Your girlfriend already didn't like you.
That's pretty gloomy, master.
I mean, that's a bit cruel. Maybe it's not that. Let me expand on that. Shat myself in bed. My girlfriend thinks it's my fault. And I yelled at her, right? Did I say that? I don't even know what I said. I'm fucking so tired, honestly. Genuinely. That's Max Headroom, an actor pretending to be an AI. That was cool as shit, wasn't it? Remember that shit? I bet there's loads of people who don't remember Max Headroom. Mule's living out Always Sunny episodes? What do you mean? Max Headroom was so odd.
And now to some.
This is fucking wacky as shit. I don't remember liking Max Headroom. No, it's not. He's not good. Hey, Sorka. Max Headroom was a hell of a bit, yeah. For a while, I used a Max Headroom style background on my Twitch. It was a bit too headache-inducing, though. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot you stream, don't you? You'll go follow DJ, everyone. Another DJ. DJ Empirical's music, along with Ninny. I used their music in my video. I don't think Ninny streams, but you can go and check out her music on Nada161 on YouTube. Like that. There's a link in the description of my video, and also a link to you do Dwarf Fortress? Oh, I really want to get into Dwarf Fortress. I do really want to get into Dwarf Fortress, though. Do you use, like, the modern version with the... It's actually got little art bits on it, right? Now? Rather than just the letters and the numbers and shit. It was, like, hella fucking confusing back in the day. Yeah, so confusing. In fact, that's only recent. That isn't really a back-in-the-day thing. If I get back into Dwarf Fortress, I could have my friends asking if I'm still alive, yeah. I just hit 900 hours. You see, this is the thing that upsets me, right? I've got like 1,800 hours in 7 days to die. And I could have done that in Dwarf Fortress, right? One day I'll stream and just not had a PC capable of it in years. We'll get you there, Sorka. We'll get you there. We will make it happen. As a community. Before we had Z levels, you played it since 2006? That's crazy. Were you there for the you know, the Frederick Knudsen video? What was that? I can't remember what it was called. It was called like Cataclysm Falls or something. The map that people passed around and shit. Do you like remember that happening? I keep updating my VTuber avatar whenever I change my hair, even though it just ends up being a profile pic. I'm a noob, I've only played the Steam release. Ah, fair enough. Boat murdered! I remember reading about it on the forums. That's fucking crazy! That's crazy! Hey, Mr. Dank, what's up? Boat murdered is crazy. Let me just finish my dinner. Hang on. Chat, if I get £30 in donos, we're turning on the cat cam. That's the rules. Yeah? There's a new documentary on Dwarf Fortress. Excellent. Excellent. Dwarf Fortress reminds me of EVE Online in terms of bonkers games that are completely inscrutable from an outside perspective. Yeah. Well, I would argue, I tried to play a bit of EVE Online. I think it was on my mum's PC or on my stepdad's PC, I can't remember. And I tried to play a bit and I was like, this is just not my bag. It was fairly doable, but in terms of like what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to play it in the long term, it's quite hard to try and figure out. But Dwarf Fortress is another kettle of fish entirely. So imagine RimWorld on steroids. Like, that is basically RimWorld on steroids. Like, not even steroids, because that's just not even an accurate understand. Like, it's like RimWorld on crack. Sometimes watch Krug Smash videos. He does drawings and voiceovers to tell Dwarf Fortress stories. That's cool. Yeah, that's the beauty of Dwarf Fortress, though. It's so well programmed that they just, like your dwarfs will do unique things. Like super unique, crazy things. And you can just tell stories about it. That's why Boat Murdered is such an interesting thing that happened, because it's like the possibilities of this game are just like endless. Within the universe, obviously. Started playing Kenshi too. Kenshi is great. Kenshi's so good. The only way to play Kenshi is get a gang together. When you get money, start mining, make a bunch of money. Get a gang together. Get everyone trained up to shit. Give everybody crossbows, and then shoot the living shit out of the Holy Nation. Just destroy them. Go for the fucking slave catchers. Go for the slave traders. Destroy them. And then go for the fucking United Cities. Get rid of all them. Help the Shrek against the Holy Nation. That's the only way to do it. Yeah, Holy Nation always gets my wrath. Yeah, it's just the only way to do it. Any other way?
Salome!
Johnny!
Salome! Salome! Salome, 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 Salome.
Would you take that deal? I'll take that deal. Damn fine deal.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks so much for the £30. Thank you for subbing off Twitch. Thank you for supporting the stream. Oh my god! That's right, chat. It's boy cam already. He's here straight away. Immediately. Hang on a hot minute. How do I... There we go. Wait. There he is. There he is. Yo, he's so sleepy. Are you a little sleepy? You're a little sleepy. Yeah. Oh. Baby. Wibbly. He's like, get off me, Dad. Fucking get off me. Let's sort out the camera for him. Let's sort it out. Is it that? Do I turn down the... Yeah. And then contrast down a tiny bit. And then brightness down, right? That's the way to do it. Yeah. There you go. Correct lighting. For the little man, so he's not blinding you with his fucking white fur. There you go. There you bloody go! I could never ever in my entire life imagine Tom sleeping in my lap. That would be a crazy development if he started doing that. He will get on my legs, like further down, like below the knee, and he will sort of like if at night in bed, if he joins me in bed and like sleeps on me and stuff, he just like elongates himself up my leg. And he gets so warm. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Does he do the thing where he'll come up to you after taking a bath and is soppy on one side, or is that a long-haired cat thing? I don't bath him. He doesn't need bathing. He's got very, very, very soft fur. You're very clean, aren't you, buddy? Hey, look after yourself. He doesn't go outside, so I don't need to wash him really, and he doesn't like get poo on himself or anything. Oh, you mean just licking himself? Yeah. He doesn't really get that wet when he's licking himself. He does try and clean me though. Like he does try and clean me. My name Jefferson. How you doing? Welcome in. One unit of a cat. Yeah, he's a unit, innit? He's a big fella. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Wasabi had a busy day. Played his little new tunnel his gran got for him. He bit me a little and fought the vacuum cleaner. Hell yeah. Hey, Gumba Master, how you doing? Did you say UFOs? Not just UFOs. Not just UFOs. Danny Dyer with UFOs. It's wholesome. He wants to take care of you. No, he does really love me a lot. He just shows me that he loves me in a different way to, like, some cats. It's just like a different vibe, which I'm completely fine with. Because it's not really about, you know, what he can do for me, is it? State of him there. Look at the state of him there. No bills, no rent, no school, just meow meow. Just meow. He's probably zenning out because he's just had an absolutely hench scram. What he started doing is, I give him, I don't know. I couldn't, what would it be? Like 250 grams, half of that's 125. Half of that's probably like 60. So I give him like 60 grams of the raw meat mixture that I get with this food. I give him like 60 grams of that, right? For one meal, and I'll have that, and it's fucking more than enough for him. So I give him that in the morning, and then another one at about 1 or 2. And then I give him some biscuits at like 7 o'clock, right? For his teeth. And what he started doing is he started having a bit of his scran at lunch and saving the rest for dinner time. And then he fucking absolutely crams it all in with his biscuits. And he just like passes out like that. No school sounds like a dream. Just took a uni final today, shaking in my little boots, waiting for results. Hey, solidarity. I remember them days. I remember them days. I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah, don't we all want to be cats? Mental. Although I've heard that sex for cats is extremely painful and harrowing. for both fucker and fucky, you know? So, maybe not, but the rest of it, sure. I swear to God, my cat comes to me to pick her up. Third of the time, it's why are you wet? She drools when she's happy though, so I think she's just weird. Oh, that's cute. Han, my partner, who comes in the chat. Her cat Mona will just drool all the time. She's just so wet on her mouth, but she's very, very little. Like, so little. Like, imagine Tom, but like half the size and tortoise shell. I remember school, I'm only joking, I have those memories repressed like fuck. As little Tom met Mona, apparently Mona is incredibly not down for other cats. So, I don't think that's happened or ever gonna happen, sadly. My professor did that thing where she looked at my paper and then hummed and tapped a question I'd already solved. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, nah. Fuck that. Maximum tortitude, yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Al, Han's brother, and he said that the only time he'd ever seen her witness another cat, she kind of like went like that, you know, back up and stuff with the tail up, and she like hit the window and then like scared herself and ran across the fucking window ledge and fucked off. But it's wild. I don't like, it's crazy because I don't know if it's just like something to do with me or like the way that I've raised Tom, or if it's just like in his nature. Like some cats are different. Cats are just different all the time, right? And it's like Tom just wants to play all the time. That's all he wants to do. Like, obviously he sleeps when he's had food and stuff. Like, obviously he just like naps quite a lot because he's a cat. But all he wants to do all the time, he never wants to cuddle, he just wants to play. He'll just be like, meow, meow, and I just have to ignore him because nothing that you do will stop him from doing that unless you ignore him. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. If you go, no, they don't give a shit about any of that. If you like get up and try and stroke them, they'll just like try and lead you away to what they want. Like he like walks to the cupboard where I keep his toy, like his main toy that he likes. And it's just like, yeah. What language is the words on your shirt? English. It says, yeah, I'm into D&D, but then the rest of it, like, came off in the wash. But it used to say disassociation and dehydration. It's from my mate Dominic. He's got a website called Dogecore. I don't play D&D. Anyway, this is Max Headroom. This is crazy from 1985.
To someone, or was it something, that made a considerable impact on your screens earlier this year, heralded as the ideal TV presenter. He eats nothing, doesn't need paying, doesn't like holidays, and does what he's told. He's the first computer-generated TV personality, and the commissionaires found him hard to handle when he arrived at the theatre earlier on.
They used to fucking like big shit like this up on TV all the fucking time, innit? Right? They used to big up shit like this on TV regularly. And then you get so excited about it, you'd be like, oh my god, because we didn't have the internet. We had the internet. I mean, obviously I wasn't alive at this time, but like this shit went on way into like the 90s and the early noughties, right? And the internet wasn't as good as it is now by a long shot. It existed, but it just nearly wasn't as good. And I wasn't even allowed on it when I was like 9 or whatever, when I was super susceptible to shit like this. But every time something cool on the news, you'd be like, whoa! And then you'd think, and then it would just be like a guy. Oh, they actually really
Guys, for God's sake, don't crease
they actually really went for it with this bit.
the suit, will you?
Max Headroom unnerves me.
Well, since then, wasn't that exciting, everybody? Since then, he's been in his dressing suite, and I think he's now ready to appear. Do we have him now? Is he available? Don't rush him. If he's fine, he's ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Max Headroom. The unsolicited testimonial, eh? Thank you, Max.
Solicited testimonial, big fella. Hi, Terry, old sport, we meet at last.
Ah, you arrived here safely, Max.
Well, I was lucky to arrive at all, big fella. Those guys with the car didn't know what they were doing.
It's not stop motion, it's just very low frame rate. Johnny Bravo.
3 TV repair shops before I got here.
The makeup is great, by the way. This is the best thing about Max Headroom, is the makeup.
You're keen on giving advice, Max. I often hear you give advice in your program. I hope you're not looking for any here, because, you know, it's a tough business thing.
So, the guy who plays Max Headroom, you will have seen him on stuff like, he's in Star Trek episodes. Oh, baby boy! He just did a little meow, sorry. I forgot to have his camera on here. He just did a little meow. He wanted me to give him a stroke. Yeah, so this is the guy. He's an American-Canadian actor. So he was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was in Lawnmower Man 2. Crazy that they did another one of them. Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen, 50-50, Night in the Museum, Doctor. He's in Orphan Black recently. No, don't go! No, don't go! Oh. Anyway. Panic in Hercules 1998. I am so certain he's in the Star Trek episode in Next Gen. Berlinghoff Rasmussen. Is that the guy's name? I've seen the Max Headroom signal hijacking incident. Yeah, it's crazy. That shit's crazy shit. Yeah, he's the time traveler that, like, steals everything. I can't remember what that... yeah, here we go. A Matter of Time in the 5th season. Yeah. He was on the TV commercial for New Coke. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Remember that chat when, like, Coca-Cola got really boring and they were like, right, it's time to make New Coke. And it was just the same. They were like, yeah, Coke 2. And, like, Coke still existed and you could taste the difference and there wasn't really any. Mental. So mental. Capitalist innovation at its finest. You've heard of Coca-Cola. Now it's time for Coca-Cola 2. The perfect vehicle for Max Headroom. That's true, yeah. That's true.
Advice.
Then they brought back Coke Classic and made billions, right? That TNG character was written for Robin Williams. Oh, it would have been so much better if it was him. Oh, I'm sorry to Matt Frewer, but he's just like, yeah, now that you've said that, it's like...
I mean, you've been doing interviews a long time. And I heard you were the one who talked King Canute out of his deck chair. Seriously. How do you get your audience going?
You mean tonight? With considerable difficulty, sir. Now, Max, I started out as a disc jockey, so you can see what happened to me. Do you enjoy the videos that you play?
Of course. Huh? But I know how you get along.
You're Irish. And I'm sure a little bit of the Irish charm would work for me. Sliding down rainbows, laughing in pools of Gaelic charm.
Now, I've heard that's the way to get on. And you're not doing badly, big fella. Good show, popular, successful. I mean, I don't like using the word
rival.
But, you know, I think I've actually got one. I mean, we even started the same way, didn't we?
Yes. Well, as I say, I started out as a disc jockey. But tell me this. The way you turned out, I mean, I've often thought that it's pretty natty. It's a pretty natty suit that you're wearing there.
Oh, thanks. I'm not just a DJ. I just wear them. My petite joke. Excuse me. But the videos that I introduce, well, they're great.
Anyone in this period who said disc jockey was consciously referencing Jimmy Savile, who coined the term? What? Wait, what? The term disc jockey was ostensibly coined by radio gossip commentator Walter Winchell in 1935. Ain't no way. I was gonna say there was simply no way that Jimmy Savile came up with that. Ain't no way. Fucking hell.
To give my audience a little bit of a breathing space in between bouts of me.
It's a fairly nasty stutter you have there, Max.
Oh, stutter. Oh, that's a harsh word for my tiny little verbal hez.
Hey, Devin, how are you?
Hesitancy. But what's wrong with a little voice
Problem, huh, big fella? It's the way to get on. Mrs. Thatcher's got that voice that's getting lower all the time. I think it's your batteries. My stutter's become...
I think it's a what? It's a what? What did he say?
Batteries. It's the way to get on. Mrs. Thatcher's got that voice that's getting lower all the time. I think it's your batteries.
I think it's a Is that subtitled? It's her batteries.
My stutter's become part of my style.
Not a bit of good.
Style, Terry. Clothes are very important, I find.
Yes, I was just going to say, I mean, I did say earlier...
Got a stake through her heart so she can't come back.
Pretty well turned out guy, aren't you?
It's alright, Shulker, don't worry.
So,
No, keep it coming. Well, I had this made especially for moi, and I wouldn't dream of wearing anything off the peg. Sounds as if you've pinched it from a washing line, doesn't it? No. I like to wear something that gives my show pizzazz,
Zap. Razzmatazz.
and lots of other words with Z's in them. You see, in my position, I've got an image to think of, big fella.
Yes, of course. Well, big star like yourself, you're an arbiter of style. I mean, you would dictate. Well, I mean, what do you think? What do you think of the way I dress?
Let's have a look at the jacket. I think threads is a very good way of putting it. You look like the kind of guy that probably uses garters with his knee socks. And looking at
Yeah, but that's fine though. There's nothing wrong with that. What's he on about? What's he trying to say? What if you've not got any more elastic in your sock? What if all the elastic's gone because you can't afford socks anymore? What then?
your build, big fella, I think for holiday wear,
You know, capitalism's not great for making socks that have elastic that last.
and I'm a bit of an expert in this, a nice pair of long, baggy shorts would suit you down to the ground. In fact, they'd probably reach the ground. No, I'm sorry, big fella. Again, my petite joke.
Was it Jim Carrey imitating this character in some roles, or is it just my imagination? I mean, Max Headroom started getting about in 1985, and Jim Carrey was in... When did Jim Carrey start acting? Jim Carrey... Oh, God. Oh, God, the awakening of Jim Carrey. Vaccines aren't real! Yeah, Headroom was a huge phenomenon. Yeah, he was big in the UK as well. When did he start work? 1977. Oh, fair enough. So there's every chance that Max Headroom, what was his name? Matt Frewer? There's every chance that he could have been scalping a little bit off Kerry. Because, how did he start? Let's see. Early life, yada, 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 yada. Career. Stand-up comedy at the age of 15. Doesn't really count if you're 15. I mean, I guess it does, but... So he tried to get into Saturday Night Live in 1980. Charles Rocket. Pick 31 of Charles Rocket. Decades later, established himself as a Hollywood film star. Kerry would host the show in May 1996. Whatever. Toronto. So he was like... Trying to think, like... Jim Carrey... Earliest... performance... He wasn't in any movies to the 90s, that's for sure, you're right. He's on Canadian TV in the mid-80s, right, gotcha. He was in Earth Girls Are Easy in 88, right. Let me have a look.
And now to someone, or is it something?
Right. He was on Carson Tonight. First appearance on the... Oh, here's his shit from the early 80s.
Carrey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling a little strange tonight, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, nah, he had this bit on lock. He had this bit on lock. Abso-fucking-lutely. In a series of 6 adverts for Channel 4's Get Set for Digital Awareness campaign, within the adverts, Max, still played by Matt Frewer, had aged and become bitter and twisted about how Channel 4 treated him. In one, he makes a bitingly pointed comment that Jim Carrey stole Max's shtick. It's been noticed that Jim and Max do have very similar manic personas.
No, I'm kidding you. That's just a little bit of a physical gag to get the show started off with a bang, and, well, you won't be seeing much more physical humor in my show. Well, now that I'm warmed up, I'd, right now what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you all on a little trip down to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas.
Yeah, no, he doesn't quite have the bit, does he? He doesn't quite have the bit. Interesting. Let's check out them Max Headroom adverts. Max Headroom, Jim Carrey. There's like hints of it there, but not quite. Jim Carrey steals my shtick.
Jesus! First Jim Carrey!
This is crazy.
Jesus! First Jim Carrey steals my dick. Now C4 scarpers off with my whole digital vision and dumps me on the analog junk heap along with Timmy Mellon and Annika Rice. Asswipes!
Nah, that's gotta be... That seems like a bit of a joke. I don't know. That seems like a self-referential joke to me, personally. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. My goodness. Well, chat, we have been going for about an hour at this point. Don't forget, it is my full-time job to be here on Twitch for you. We've already had a £30 dono today from Johnny. Crazy, absolutely crazy start to the stream. Don't forget that you can sub off Twitch. You can support me via subbing off Twitch. You can sub on Twitch. I'm thinking about arranging a dono, not just a dono goal, but a sub goal to go alongside the dono goal at some point in the future to try and prompt people to subscribe. You can always give a gift to someone in the stream. Great person to give a gift to, MuleBot5000, because oftentimes when I do the raid command, he doesn't have my emotes. So yeah, a good person to gift a sub to if you see no one who deserves a sub. You can support me like that. You could also go check out my latest YouTube video. Chat, is there a pinned message at the top of the chat? There should be. There should still be a pinned message at the top of the chat. Unless someone's broken. I don't know. But go and see my new video. You can check out my YouTube channels there. Go check out my socials. Give me a retweet on the promo thing. You see the new main channel video message? Great, that's good. Brilliant. Thank you, Aslan. Thank you, Devon. Thank you, B-Rat. Cool. Yeah, you could go retweet, repost a go live post in that one, in the promo command. So, various ways to support me. But we're doing so great, like it's only the first stream of the month, first week of the month, and we've already raised £130 for the dono goal. Absolutely cracking heaps. Absolutely smashing it. So happy with it. So, before we continue...
Salome.
Whoa!
Salome, 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 Salome.
Krill! With the £30. Krill, you are far too generous. Thank you so much for subbing off Twitch. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My goodness. Extremely generous chatters. I don't know what I've done to deserve it. Thank you very much. Holy fucking shit. Before any more donays, I nearly said donays. Before any more donos come in, I am going to go and put my PJs on because I can't sit here in these pants anymore. It just can't happen. I'll be right back, and then we'll get started with the content for tonight. The boy is like, hang on, I'm sure I can show you this. Surely this will work. Alright, there's my torso. No, he's moved. Fuck! You just saw him leave. Bastard. Hey, Discrot, how are you doing? Welcome in. Alright. Time for the fucking content, chat. Time for the fucking content. First things first. Let's get some of this fucking brain rot news out of the way. The donos for the cat cam. The cat is not guaranteed. Kind of is. I could get him to come back. I'll get him to come back in a bit. I'll give him some treats and he'll be back. But yeah. Anyway. Alright, first bit of news. So, Labour government, UK, the homelessness minister, right? So, not even the housing minister, the homelessness minister. Rushanara Ali is under pressure to resign after it emerged that not only is she a landlord, but she threw out her tenants and then raised the rent by £700. So that's great, isn't it? Bit of a conflict of interest there. So, East London property. In a letter to Keir Starmer, she said that remaining in the role would be a distraction from the ambitious work of this government. She told the Prime Minister, "It has been the honour of my life to have played my part in first securing and then serving as part of this Labour government. You have my continued commitment, loyalty and support. Further to recent reporting, I want to make it clear that at all times I have followed all relevant legal requirements. I believe I took my responsibilities and duties seriously, and the facts demonstrate this. However, it's clear that continuing in my role will be a distraction from the ambitious work of the government." What is she talking about? What ambitious work of the government? What are they doing that's ambitious? More of the same? Wait, your politicians resign when they get caught doing shit? Yeah, sometimes. There's another Labour landlord that's still in his position. I don't think he's a cabinet minister, but I think he's... I think he's an MP, like, and you know, it's just crazy. I just think that MPs shouldn't be allowed to be landlords. I just don't think they should be allowed. It's just like mental. It's such a fucking conflict of interest. On Thursday, it emerged that the 4 tenants who rented a house owned by Ali were given 4 months' notice in an email last November and told the lease would not be renewed because the property was due to be sold. After the tenants left the property, which they had rented for £3,300. Relisted at £4,000 a month. What the fuck? It's reported that the property was relisted for rent after no buyer was found. Questions were also raised over whether the tenants were offered the option to stay and whether the decision to relet the property undermined the reasons given for ending their tenancy. So here's the thing, chat, right? I've just done this video on landlords, so you know that I understand landlord-tenant law and all this stuff. Most of you already understood that anyway. The reason that landlords do this is because if they're going to increase the rent that much, they absolutely know that current tenants will not pay it, right? They absolutely know there ain't no way. So what they do is they kick tenants out first, and then they raise the rent, because then there's more chance that someone will come in and pay that rent and make up for the time where they don't have a tenant in, essentially. So like a wealthy person will find the property, and, you know, because they can't advertise the property while there's still an active tenancy. I mean, they can and they do, but they shouldn't really. So, you know, they'll advertise it when the property is empty and do it that way. So yeah, it's just wild. It's just absolutely wild. It's almost what you pay in a year. What the hell? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that. I mean, actually, no. That's kind of in a year. What is that? £4,000 in a year. Hang on, £4,000. Right. No. Okay. So that's like similar to what I pay in a year, actually. Yeah. But like, it's just crazy that like, this is the case all over the country at the moment, and this is kind of one of the main reasons that I can't move. Like, I can't move out of this gaff because rent is just crazy, even in Manchester. Like, if I wanted to go and live in a house that had a garden, it would be more expensive than where I am now, which is crazy because I live in the center of town. It's just like landlords will just be like, you know, charge whatever they want for a fucking rent, and then others will charge whatever the fuck they want in the worst way. It's just such a fucked system. Questions were also raised as whether tenants are offered the option to stay and whether decisions to re-let the property undermine the reasons for giving friend in their tenancy. The Renters' Rights Bill, which is due to come in force next year, will ban landlords who have ended a tenancy in order to sell a property from relisting it for a higher rent. The bill will also end the use of fixed-term tenancies. I mean, like they say, due to come into force next year. They've been dragging their fucking feet on this for so long. The Renters' fucking Rights Bill that, like, we campaigned on with GMTU for such a long time. I just did a conversion to USD. That's hella high. What the fuck? Like, that's the reason that I am a housing activist. Because in the UK, the thing that affects people the most is housing. There are so many fucking homeless people in the UK. Do you know what I mean? And the majority of homelessness is because of landlords. You know, people in the UK love to be like, it's because people they have drug problems and they got mental health problems, so they just end up homeless. And it's like, what do you think happens when people with mental health problems and drug problems have like a home that they don't get kicked out of? What do you think happens then? Right? Just crazy. It's crazy shit. I mean, so, like, the gaff is like, what is it? It's a 3-person gaff. 4-person gaff. So, yeah, you would divide that between 4 people. That's quite common in London. It's not quite a HMO because a HMO is 5 people or more living in a property. But essentially what landlords do is they max out what they can get into a property, which is 4 people, before having to pay house of multiple occupants license and all the associated costs that they have to do, like extra fire safety things, extra bits and pieces that make the gaff safe for more than 4 people. And that happens quite often in London. They will get away with charging this even though people are basically just living in one room. Because you got to remember, you might move into a house like this and not know anyone. And I've lived in a house like that. I think most people here have probably like lived in a house share at some point in their lives, right? When you live in a house share, it's great if you live with all your mates. But even if you live with all your mates, sometimes there can be arguments and you don't want to speak to each other and you fall out and you have to go, I'm going to end up like not being this person's friend when I leave this property or whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, that's if you've got friends. If you don't live with friends, then you're living with like random people, and some people you might just like fully not get on with. You know, you just don't click with them for whatever reason, or you never end up seeing each other because you work different hours and stuff. And it's like, oh right, okay, so like I'm just living in this like one room, which is basically not like, there's no benefit to me living with people because, you know, no one's ever here. I don't speak to anyone. And you know, the gaff is fucking £4,000 a month. You know, you might as well live in your own flat, like a single person flat. But that's more expensive. It's more expensive to do that most of the time. It's just completely insane. So that's how they get away with this shit. But, you know, again, remember, chat, this is just one house. This is kind of like an average price for like a house like that in East London. And you might go to somewhere a little more posher, which will be fucking £9,000 a month between 4 people, right? That's the thing that happens. Like I've seen some properties go for £1,000 a month for like a single person. Just like £1,000 a month in rent. You know what I mean? £1,000 a month in rent when the bills, electricity bills are like £210 a month in some cases, and then you got like council tax to pay if it's not included in your rent, which will be like £120 a month in some places. You know, it varies. It could be higher, it could be lower, and then you got you know, your phone, you got your groceries, you got your internet, all that shit on top. Travel. Like, it's just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And you know, here's the thing, chat. If people did not have to worry about the places that they lived in, or worry about moving all the time, or whether they can afford their rent, they would be able to organize a lot better. they'd be far more able to do organizing and you know, create working class led people's unions and create dual power structures. And generally speaking, that is kind of why you know, one of the other reasons that I wanted to be a housing activist, because I thought, like, you know, if we solve that, if we solve housing, everyone has like a base where they can fucking live, and they can just go home and sleep in sound and safe in the knowledge that they're like not gonna get turfed out. It's not a psycho landlord who's gonna like come in the middle of the night and fucking attack them or something. You know what I mean? Then we can do so much with that. Like, I've had the privilege of living in the same place for a long time for a fairly low rent, right? And it's done the world of good for me. I've had so many good opportunities as a result of it. I was able to run a self-employed business, you know, not just in streaming, but before that, I was a videographer. You know, I definitely wouldn't have taken the chance to do that if I had a higher rent, because it would be like, how the fuck am I going to afford the rent when, you know, I got like a couple of periods here where I'm, you know, not sure if I'm going to earn the money or not. You know, it's just crazy. Like, the amount of difference that it made to my life when I had like a place to live in where I was like, damn, actually, like, I'm probably going to end up living here for like a while and it will be fine, right? It just makes such a difference. And, you know, it's another reason why social housing is so important. Like, social housing is something where you have a guaranteed tenancy for like a long time. The only time that you're getting like turfed out of social housing is if they hit you with this like antisocial behavior bullshit eviction order, and those are always bullshit. They're always fucking bullshit and really hard to define by the social housing landlord. It's like, well, antisocial behavior, what is that? It could be anything, right? So if you wanted to challenge it, if you wanted to have like a, you know, some kind of a civil court challenge or whatever, you could just be like, well, define antisocial behavior, and they can't. So anyway, it's so fucking important for that. And it's just like another reason as to why landlords just need to be ended, right? What's this at the end? Jess Barnard, former chair of Young Labour and a member of Labour's National Executive Committee, said, seems an appropriate time to reiterate MPs should not be landlords and landlords should not be Labour MPs. Yeah. But that's not going to happen, is it? Maybe just quit the National Executive Committee, Jess. Jump on the new party, you know what I mean? The house near Ali's Bethnal Green and Stepney constituency is listed for sale at £894,000. Surely someone's found this. Surely someone's found this. Hey Morrigan, how are you doing? Rushanara Ali's house estate agent listing. Oh, she did actually quit. Wait. Oh, she did resign. Oh, I didn't even realize that was in the in the fucking headline. That's pretty funny. That's great. Sorry I missed this in the chat. I had a drink and a drug problem for a decade. I stayed off the streets because of my privilege and my family's privilege. Not everyone has that luxury. Right, exactly. Yeah, I've had a fucking drink and drug problem. And like I know, like, I have a very like lucky social safety net with my dad. Unfortunately, like, my stepdad just wouldn't. I had like a nightmare about going and living with my stepdad again last night, actually, which was crazy. Because I was like, I don't know. I guess I was just like worrying about like what if I get kicked out of this place, but I could always go and live with my dad. I know that he'd put me up. You know, it's in a different like town or whatever, but like I wouldn't be homeless. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's wild that like, you know, that is the difference that just like having security in a home makes, right? Like, I was addicted to ketamine. I was addicted to, I mean, I didn't really have like a withdrawal alcohol problem, but I definitely had like a binge drinking problem for like a large part of my life. Like, people will remember on this stream when I used to get drunk on this stream, right? Like, when I ever did like 24-hour live streams, like charity live streams, and I would like drink fucking wine and shit all night. Like 2 bottles of fucking wine, and I'd just still be here streaming like, yeah, safe. You know, ridiculous. Anyway, MP shouldn't be landlords. That's just the end of it, right? That is just simply the end of it. So, next up. What's this? This was... Wait, what? What was this? Forward? Oh, shit. Wait, hang on a second. No, this was like a... There's like a quote tweet of this. Wait, hang on a minute. Where did this video go? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Chat, there was a fucking video on this tab. Wait, what? Another one? A landlord and Labour MP, Bayo Alaba, recently evicted a mother of 2, making her homeless. The former councillor rented his properties to the council he served on to be used as homeless accommodation. My scoop for the Londoner. Thank you for the follow. You are joking. Oops, all landlords. My family is endemic alcoholism. I also had the same issue, just kind of ended up with mild stoner tendencies instead, because that's how much cheaper it is. Plus one bad experience of being sick of a bottle of red wine when I was first living in London for a while. Yeah, you don't want to drink. Drink is a poison. It is a poison. I don't even know what's going to happen to me. They could move me to Birmingham. We met with a woman that's been turfed out by Bayo Alaba, one of Parliament's biggest landlords. The newly elected Labour MP Bayo Alaba has been outspoken on the question of housing. Last year, he was still serving as councillor in Redbridge. He wrote an impassioned call to action for the website Progressive Britain about the imperatives of stable housing for stronger communities. Alaba said he shuddered at the thought of how his life would have turned out if his mum and 5 siblings had been forced to navigate the private rental sector back in the day. In the now deleted blog, he wrote, "The one thing that kept me moderately anchored was a stable home, consistent friends, and a familiar community that didn't change every 18 months. Since being elected as the MP for Southend Eastern Rochford in Labour's July landslide, Alaba has maintained his interest in the need for secure housing. Recently, He visited one of the largest homeless charities in his new constituency, tweeting that nobody should have to spend the night on the streets. This was in 2024. It's hard to square these sentiments with a conversation we had with a woman at her front door in East London last month, the mother of 2 young children. She was terrified of being left on the street because she was being evicted from a flat. Who was behind the eviction? The flat's owner, Labour MP Bayo Alaba. It's just insane, man. And look, like, you know, the tenant who will refer to by the pseudonym of Anne, as she asked not to be named, was first told she was being evicted in But like, tenants are fucking, like, too scared to talk about this shit. Because they think that their landlord is gonna, like, attack them or some shit. Because that's how everybody thinks about their landlord, right? Completely insane. Just completely insane.
There's something we've...
Okay, so there's some other stuff that I want to look at. This came out on Blue Sky yesterday. This is an activist here talking about how they're expanding Alligator Auschwitz. So let's watch this and see what she's saying.
What we've seen this past week, they've returned the filled trucks. We've got 30, 40 filled trucks an hour going back in and asphalt. We have wastewater coming out 24 hours a day. Potable water going in, jet fuel going in, tankers that are unmarked but that have hazardous placards. That's a 5,000-gallon wastewater tank, which we do.
I'm going to zoom in over
yeah,
there.
And we do know, and it's been confirmed, those are going to Broward's wastewater treatment facility.
So these tanks are taking wastewater out of this facility and moving it somewhere else.
They're just all day and all night. They've been bringing in more bunks for the staff. They've been bringing in more bathrooms. There were 2 trucks that went in like this. It had like
boxes with toilets.
It's not tall enough for a human to stand up in. I didn't know what in the world they even. Oh, look at all these generators. There are at least 4 or 5 ambulances that leave daily. This was today, an ambulance was pulling out of the facility, and as you can see, they have their lights on as they're pulling out. They will turn their lights off as they get down this road. It seems like every contractor has a connection to the governor or to prominent politicians and their donors.
I mean, that would track. These are all no-bid contract awards, right?
Of course, and a lot of them from out of state. I don't know how you get a no-bid contract from out of state, but they've managed.
Yeah, you do corruption. That's how you do that, right? You engage in like a whole heap of corruption. Fucking hell, man. Honestly. 4 or 5 ambulances that leave daily, and you better believe that's not even remotely the real amount. You know what I mean? I've been thinking a lot about what you said last time I was on stream. A resolve to go to the next Palestine protest that's going on in my area. Yes! 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 Good for you! Good for you. Yeah. Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's important, right? It's extremely important. Like, I just think that a lot of people... I think that a lot of people in our world, and it's not their fault, engage in like a lot of short-term thinking, right? Where you will think about how horrible things are immediately, and we tend to not think about the long-term future because sometimes that's pretty scary, and we don't want to think about like what horrible. So, you know, a lot of people think that there isn't a future, right? A lot of people just think, right, it's pretty soon everyone's just gonna like be evaporated in bombs, nuclear bombs, right? But you have to not think about that stuff, and you have to think about like what if in the future everything goes really well, yeah? Because people spend a lot of time going like, what if the worst thing in the world happened? And no one seems to spend any time going, well, what if the best thing happened? What if the best thing in the world happened? If the best thing in the world happened, someone will ask you at some point, you were alive during the genocide of Palestinians. What did you do? Will you lie? So yeah, good for you. But let's move on. One of my favorite Doctor Who quotes is about this. Yeah, it's good. That's why Doctor Who's a good show. 1000%. All right. We got some absolutely mental stuff to look at. So apparently Norm had a debate with Cornel West, and it's just mental. Apparently, it's just completely mental. So this is only 9 minutes of it. We're not gonna watch a whole heap of this tonight. Don't worry. We're just gonna watch a bit, because I know that this is gonna be fucking frustrating as hell, and it's like the last stream of the week for me. And I've had such a long 11-week stint of just working, and I can't wait to just like chill out and watch some Danny Dyer. We're gonna watch a bit of this, and then we're gonna watch a tiny bit of the John Mearsheimer on Tucker. I'm really sad that I just don't know where. I had a tweet that was like a video of some black Hebrew, no, what are they called? Black Israelites? And some Zionists, some Israeli Zionists come up to them and they're like, what tribe are you from? Like the Israelites, yeah, what tribe are you from? And they don't know. And they just get absolutely cumstered and dumpstered by these like like black Israelites. Do you know what I mean? It was really good. I'm really sad that we can't watch it because it's as funny as it sounds. You know. Discross says, I wish I could join protests, but I have a chronic balance problem, so I can't be much of an activist as I can. If I was a bit healthier, I'd love to do reproductive labor for the protests going on here. I mean, look, like, again, like, you know, those people in the future are not going to be like, oh, how dare you? You were disabled and you didn't do anything. I don't think that that's the future that is going to happen, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But, yeah, you know, the statement still stands for anyone, right?
Voting about and be, as Harvard kept writing, to be inclusive of child killers. I find it just an utterly revolting concept.
But
isn't it?
But we just different kind of brothers. Man. We got different kind of temperaments, man. I don't believe in just. Look at it this way. Look at it this way.
Would you correct? The Harvard report had a very curious.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh.
Of anti-Semitism. And I'd like to.
Thanks, Ants. Thanks.
YBE! How are you doing? Welcome in. Thanks for the 120. I'm very good. All the better for seeing you. How are you doing? Do you still stream? I can't remember if you're a streamer.
To you.
I'm sure you're a streamer.
We define anti-Semitism.
Yeah, you got fucking a whole heap of followers, yeah.
Based bias.
Go follow Young Black Economists.
Harvard affiliates with Israeli nationality or background from fully participating in Harvard's educational, co-curricular, or social life. Which basically means if Jews or Israelis feel left out, then it's a form of anti-Semitism. And a large part of the report is devoted to this phenomenon they call shunning. So to give a couple of examples, I'm quoting, Israeli students reported feeling particularly targeted and ostracized, frequently experiencing social shunning. Accounts of social shunning emerged as one of the most alarming.
Been lurking the last few streams you have, appreciate it.
Breakdown of Harvard's
Thank you, comrade. Appreciate the lurkers every time.
Some Jewish students expressed sadness and frustration at feeling shunned, and so forth. So I'm going to just give some context, and then we can go to the reaction. So if you look at the public opinion poll...
Thanks.
Devin, thank you so much for the 230. Thank you for the bits.
In Israel. Israel is probably the most polled place on God's earth. If you look at the public opinion polls, about 1/2 of Israeli Jews believe that Israel, the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, should commit genocide in Gaza. That's not an exaggeration. The question that was put to Israelis was very concrete and succinct. When the IDF enters a city, should it kill every single person in the city?
And he's right.
47% of Israeli Jews said yes.
And that was the Hebrew University. That was a university in so-called Israel.
Question. Another question was, do you believe there are any innocents in Gaza? Any innocents? It was asked of Israelis across the board, including non-Jewish Israelis. 62% said there are no innocents in Gaza. If you factor away the non-Jewish respondents, it would come to about 70%. If you turn to Gaza now, Israel, for better or for worse, it has a citizen army. That means that army is representative of Israeli society. That army is carrying out a genocide. Every member of that army, EVERY, every member of that army is complicit in genocide.
Norm just cracks me up sometimes with the way that he does stuff. EVERY, every member, like EVERY.
If it's not,
just to get the point home,
doctors have attested, if it's not targeting the skulls and chests of children, if it's not bombing the hospitals, bombing the schools, bombing any infrastructure in Gaza, the water and sanitation facilities, then they're involved in the systematic, methodical starvation, verging on famine of the people of Gaza. Now, when students, or I should say, when IDF soldiers come after their stint in the army to Harvard campus, or there are Jews who are publicly defending a real-time genocide broadcast across the social media, the bulk of the report's recommendations are, we must be inclusive. We must be pluralistic.
Like, it's just completely fucked. Just going, obviously, some commentary unrelated to the fact that we're sort of watching this to sort of have a little listen to Norm and like see Cornel West's response, and apparently his response is absolutely terrible, as was alluded to at the start. Just the like thinking about the fact that like a university is going, yeah, nah, people who've done genocide should not feel excluded from spaces. If an Israeli comes to the USA and they come to our university, they shouldn't feel excluded. But literally, what if they were in the IDF? Almost every single Israeli has been in the IDF. Pretty much every single fucking one. They've been participating in a genocide. Like, you cannot, like, you know, it's fucking wild.
We must embrace everyone. I say no.
Yeah.
They should be shunned. They should be ostracized. You ought not to be inclusive of child killers. You lose me there. Nadine.
The only way that we can effectively prevent these tragedies and these catastrophes is try to engage with those people who have been perpetrators. I think that even a war criminal should be admitted to campus for purposes of truth-seeking,
What are you What are you on about? What are you on about? Those words just came out of her mouth. Who is this lady?
purposes of trying to prevent genocide in the future.
Oh my God, man. Look at his face. This is just like incredulous.
And I don't believe that the effective way to do it is to shun, shame, or ostracize.
I'm asking you, Cornel.
Right. What she is doing, what the argument that this lady is making is she's saying, okay, abolition is a thing, right? Yeah, Pol Pot. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing, right? She's saying Hitler deserves a scholarship, right? That's what she's saying. Even war criminals should be allowed to walk amongst us. You mean Hitler? Hitler? Pol Pot? All these kinds of guys, you know? Fucking King Leopold? People like that, you just fine, yeah, walk around, cool, yeah, no problem. Insane. Completely insane.
That those students are obliged to be inclusive of child killers. I'm curious, because I know you're very inclusive. Maybe your tent stretches from here to the other side of the galaxy. That they should be inclusive of child killers.
Yeah,
he just goes, yeah.
Hell of a way of characterizing it, though, because
yeah, but what other way do you characterize it?
Here, brother, is that the history of religions, which has been for the most part the history of barbarism in terms of institutional religions, they have specialized in shunning people. And once you begin to shun, then the next step is dehumanization,
Okay, so they're doing like super woke politics. It's like abolition is for everybody, and I get that, right? But there is a place to have that with war criminals, like people who have literally engaged in a genocide and killed children because they believe that those children are terrorists and that they should be killed. Like, these people are a danger to society. And I'm not saying that they should be locked up in a cage and never allowed out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is a difference between doing abolition and having abolitionist thinking for, like, for example, a normal member of society who has transgressed a couple of times. Right? Right? Just like a normal member of society who has transgressed a couple of times. When it comes to a fascist who has been so brainwashed and, like, you know, it doesn't matter whether it was against their will, they were conscripted into the IDF and, like, they didn't know actually what was going on, that, you know, they've been fed half-truths by the Israelis or whatever. We should have a fucking, like, separate bit of that kind of abolition and education and de-radicalization process, right? It's called a re-education camp, right? That's what some people would call it. I wouldn't personally call it that because I don't believe in, getting banned on Twitch for a throwaway comment like that. But I think that there needs to be a place for that kind of thing to happen that does genuinely protect people in society. And I know that, like, most abolitionists would look at that and go, well, that's just prison by a different name. But I don't see how we get to this point where there are those kinds of people and it is so completely believable. And I'm not saying that they should be hanged. I'm not saying that they should be like incarcerated, put in solitary confinement, or tortured, or any of that shit. I'm just saying that like there has to be a process, like an actual process. And it has to be when they've been stopped from committing a genocide, first of all. And then after that, when they decide, oh, genocide is a bad idea, right? But they're not going to decide that on their own. They have to be forced to do that. You know, this is the thing, right? Cornel and this other lady is like, shunning is bad. We shouldn't do that. That's not a good thing. But like, you can't apply that same level of abolition to like Hitler or Netanyahu or, you know... Not a fan of prisons, but in my opinion, ostracism isn't enough because it doesn't work too well when bigotry is the majority take and there's no real consequences beside maybe having a few people say you should say sorry, they could lose their jobs. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, you can't this is a point of fucking no return for like some people. And there are people in Israeli society, I've said it before, there are people in Israeli society that it's just like they are so racist. They are so fucking racist. It happened in the USA a fucking year ago. 6 months ago. Two instances I can think of. Like, literally two, just off the top of my head. The two fucking Israelis who shot each other on the beach because they thought each other was an Arab. And then... that fucking psycho, well, he wasn't Israeli, was he? He was just like a white guy, but, you know, actually, you know. Conditioned by the same social conditioning that radicalizes Israelis into being that racist, right? People get real triggered by getting fired for doing essay, even though they in fact avoid in prison, but it does work. Harassment stops. War criminals can also at least not be given jobs with my tax money. Right, yeah. This is it. To approve the outcome of the Nuremberg trials, these ideas could coexist. One has broad general scope and the other has narrow contextual scope. Well, that's the thing though, Sorka, right? Because the reason that Nuremberg didn't work is because even though they executed some people who had clearly, you know, obviously committed heinous war crimes, you know, without a shadow of a doubt of in terms of like proof and evidence, like it still doesn't make a good argument for the death penalty because Germany was clearly not denazified because the people who were in charge of doing those trials were not actually interested in denazifying Germany and broader Europe. And that's why we have such a fucking fascist problem in Europe. Because that is what happens when you don't properly denazify. Hey, Katie Splain, how you doing? Welcome in. There's a difference between an SS Nazi and your neighbor who votes for Trump because his rent is too high. Like, we need a process. Right, exactly. You can't just be like, right, abolition for everybody, for every single person, including Hitler, and
you're just redoing the same cycle that you yourself were resisting.
Like when we watched the thing on Monday, right? You remember the Fash demo that we saw the streamer film, and there were some clearly vulnerable, unwell people in that crowd that have obviously been taken advantage of. They don't care, just anybody to come in and like bump up the numbers, right? Those people are clearly completely oblivious as to the fucking like reality that they're being used, yeah? And you can't like treat those people the same as the other people. It depends. There might be some people who are completely coherent of what's going on, completely understand what's going on. But you know, it's one of those situations where it's like you have to look at things on a case-by-case basis and you have to do broad community education. Yeah, right now we do nothing. We allow war criminals to get away with it without doing anything to stop it. We don't have to revert to, well, do you want them all to get the death penalty? Right, there's loads of other options. It's stupid to be like, oh, this is the same as when, like, you know, someone gets shunned for not having the right religion. It's so stupid to say this. Like, what planet is he living on?
From the very beginning. If we shunned every American who supported the extermination of indigenous peoples, there's not a whole lot of folk left in the history of the television.
Oh my God. Why is he making that argument? Why is he making that argument? Like, oh my God.
If we shun the majority of Americans who supported the enslavement of black people, the lynching of black people, Jim Crow and Jane Crow, who's left? That's a small.
Oh my God, who's left? There were a bunch of people who were not down for that shit. There was a whole bunch of people that weren't down for that shit. What are you on about?
No, this is a rhetorical evasion.
No, it's not.
He's right. It's a rhetorical evasion.
I'm speaking directly to your question.
Cornel's great in loads of ways. I've got a lot of time for him, right? I've got a lot of time for him, but I don't know what the fuck has happened over the last couple of fucking years where he, he ran for president and he was going to do it with the Green Party, and then the Green Party in America was like, oh, trans people are not people, actually. And he was like, yes, that's right. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Actually, this is rich, considering the fact that that's the kind of shit he was. I mean, maybe he learned, I don't know. But like, I don't know if he's in the Green Party anymore. But it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy making. We don't need to watch the rest of this. We already got some more shit to get mad about. Okay, so that's like all Americans, yeah, it's baked into the culture, right? It's just fucking wild. Absolutely wild. I'm actually all for shunning every American who is pro-slavery and native genocide. Right, exactly. Like, what the hell? Like, here's the thing, right? What we're talking about, what Norm was saying there in it being like a rhetorical evasion, right? A rhetorical evasion. He's talking about a situation. We're talking about a situation where the genocide has ended and there is some kind of ability for Palestinians to have self-determination in their homeland, right? Like that's kind of what Norm is saying. Well, no, Norm wasn't even saying that. This is crazy. This is what I mean. It's like they took it so far beyond. It's like, if we get to a stage, they jumped the step, right? They jumped the step. If we had a utopian future where Palestine is free, it's one state from the river to the sea for the Palestinians, and, other people can live there if they want to live there in peace, with their neighbors, which has always been the case since the very fucking beginning of it all. The Palestinians were never opposed to Jewish people coming and living there peacefully with them. There was always plenty of room. It just so happened that there were fucking murderous fascists who were, using Judaism as a fucking smokescreen. Anyway, I digress. If we have this utopian future where there is justice for Palestinians and, there is justice for Native Americans, we have land back, there's justice and reparations for black people, and, after that, there are still people who are like, yeah, I think slavery was good and it should happen again, right? That's the kind of scenario where we're talking about abolition, where abolition in terms of, how we actually recreate re-education and, get people to a point where they understand that these things are wrong, right? Like, that would be the case where that kind of argument could be made, but even then, like, they were still far too, hate to say it, far too liberal, but you know what I mean, like liberal not in the freedom sense, liberal in the, in the freedom sense, but not in an abolitionist sense, but in like a fucking, like, just this crazy, like, it's just not realistic, it's not pragmatic. This overly, like, huge net, like, it's like Norm says, like, that, extend the tent to the other end of the galaxy. Like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway, I feel like I lost my point, but, in that future, even in that future, there would be people who you would have to just, like, fully de-radicalize. And, like, maybe people wouldn't be allowed in, like, society for a bit. And I'm not saying that they should be put in a cage, but there just has to be a place where, or like a system that looks after people like that does work to, like, basically help people like that get that insane brainwashing out of their minds. You know, and you would just have to like follow that and look at it. I don't know, man. You know, you see, this is the thing. Like once you think about these kinds of things, you have these kinds of ideas. It just kind of like all the things that people say about communist countries, and they say things like, "Oh, they had re-education camps and this, that, and the other." It's like, yeah, dude, all that makes absolute fucking sense to me, dude. It makes absolute goddamn sense. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? There are people in our society right now who think that the earth is flat. Those people need to be put in some kind of institution where they learn that they are like completely fucking wrong. Right? Like, what are you on about? It's just like it's not conducive to like a proper society. Civil War in America is another great example of being too liberal and expanding the tent in the hopes of unity. Like, they killed Lincoln despite not going forward with 40 acres and a mule, and arguably the results of the Civil War got us to today. Right. Hey Liz, how are you? Good to see you. All right, this is a 2 fucking hour live stream, and I've already been live for 2 hours, and it's the final stream of the month, of the week. Sorry. And I obviously want to get to Danny Dyer. We've still got half of this to go, right? This is the candy, yeah? This is the candy, chat. We're nearly there. I just want to see the segment of this because this is John Mearsheimer. He's a guy he's a professor. He's been on he's done the rounds. And he's been talking about Gaza's genocide, right? I've seen him on the Katie Halper show. I've seen him on like a couple of other shows. And I think he's overall a conservative. But he understands the Gaza genocide. And he's like fairly outspoken about it. It's a bit wild that Tucker Carlson has him on the show. But they do talk about this insane stuff. Like, they talk about like the growing threat of China and why do we still have NATO? I mean, this is a good question, but not for the reasons that these guys are going to be talking about. And then like the West's ridiculous Russophobia. There is a bit that they talk about Gaza, Zelensky ending the war, foreign policy, Middle Eastern, US puts Israel's interest for the Palestinian genocide, Zionist mission for greater Israel, power of the Israel hobby, attempts to shut down criticism of Israel. Oh, damn. They actually fucking, like, talk a lot. They talk so much about Israel. What the fuck? Okay, maybe we won't watch all of it. Because that would be like, what? This is at 51 minutes. And then they talk about fucking Israel for another hour. You are shitting me, dude. All right, we'll watch a tiny bit of this. We'll watch a tiny bit of this. Hey, Alejandro, how you doing? Mearsheimer describes himself as a realist. He's pretty consistent at that. I don't know if conservative is apt. He's not even conventionally liberal. Interesting. I did not know that. I thought... I didn't... When I say conservative, I didn't mean... like Trump conservative. I meant sort of like, he's not a radical leftist. He's not like super fascist or anything, right? You know? I try not to spread my takes on that too far because I don't mean to depress people, but in my opinion, racism is so baked into American culture. It being a country built on stolen land and breeding black slaves like cows, it's never going to have full equality. I'm always going to be paid less, get worse healthcare by doctors, get denied housing more, etc. I have to have an attitude that I have to learn to cope with reality. Oh, no, yeah. Completely understandable, right? Even the one-state solution will still be racist to Palestinians for hundreds of years. Well, that's the thing. Like, the reason that we fight for liberation for every single person in the world, right? True liberation for every marginalized and oppressed person ever, yeah? Is because in the future, at least someone will have that. But we do have to be realistic, like you say, about that stuff. I think it's important. I think it's important to be realistic. Like, it will be a struggle to make the new world happen, but we have to keep going and keep pushing for it, right? Tucker seems to be working towards genuine anti-Semitism based on Israel's actions. That's what I think the important takeaway is. I haven't seen the interview, so I don't know if that's what we could take away. But yeah, I haven't seen any of that, but that's fucking obviously completely fucked if that's the case, and I believe it 1,000%. So I got the world emote. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh wait. Oh, I don't know what you're referring to. If you mean like the better, if that's like a better world. I don't know. Realist is a fascinating term to me because it necessarily centers the neoliberal foreign policy as the mature and realistic position. He's quite the opposite of that. Yeah, that's interesting.
If need be, it can help.
Let's hear what he's saying about Israel.
Help Israel if it gets into trouble.
I didn't hear any reference to American interests in that description.
Well, when it comes to Israel, right, and what Israel needs, right, that has little to do with American interests, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
The truth is,
that's the one, YBE.
Any two countries in the world are going to have similar interests plus different interests.
Yes.
Right. So there's no question that Israel and the United States sometimes have similar interests,
yes,
and sometimes have different interests. Let me give you an example of this. The United States has a vested interest in making sure Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
Yes.
We're against proliferation. It's in the American national interest. It's obviously in Israel's national interest for Iran not to have nuclear weapons, right? So two states can have similar interests. In the case of Israel and the United States, they also happen to have different interests. And what we have in the United States is a situation where we have this thing called the Israel Lobby, which I, of course, have written about with Steve Wald, which goes to great lengths.
So, like, with what you're saying, Alejandro, I'm right in thinking that it's actually shocking that this guy's on Tucker Carlson's show. Like, again, like I said, conservative, I meant not in the sense of an evil person who wants to, like, oppress people. I mean, like, a conservative as in, like, that's just how he wants to live his life. If that makes sense, you know, just like someone who wants a wife and kids and a house and isn't interested in any, like, radical politics because they don't really affect him because he's probably middle class, right? But regardless of that, he's extremely progressive and well-read on foreign policy and geopolitics. American foreign policy and geopolitics, right?
To push the United States to support Israel unconditionally.
Hell yeah, PBP.
In other words, no matter what Israel does, we are supposed to support Israel. And the lobby is so effective. It is so powerful. It is so effective.
Like you got the layers. I saw this recently, and it's really good. It's called Stages of Whiteness, right? And this is important for white people to look at. And this isn't even a new thing. This is things that black activists have been talking about for fucking ages at this point, right? White identity. Can't I get like a good fucking thing? Here we go. This will look good. Right, there you go. So this is a super important thing to look at, and like take a minute to screenshot this from the stream and save it if you want, because I think as white people, it's important for us to look at this stuff and always try and aim to be here, right at the bottom. So you have at the very bottom, unfortunately it's like the wrong way here, but I guess you're supposed to read it downwards. Unfortunately, this is placed at the top, but this is the most common that you will find most white people in. I mean, yeah, no, you would, because this is just the kind of brainwashing that is in like a lot of people's heads without realizing it. Clearly marked white society that preserves names and values white superiority. White voyeurism wouldn't challenge a white supremacist, desires non-whiteness because it's interesting, pleasurable, seeks to control the consumption and appropriation of non-whiteness. Fascination with culture, for example, consuming black culture without the burden of blackness. White privilege I think this is the most common where people are at, most people nowadays. Probably could, you know, I would accept criticism of that, absolutely. But I do genuinely think that, like, no, it's probably here, right? I think most people are at white voyeurism. But I would say most people on the left, most white people on the left are here, where they may critique supremacy but have a deep investment in questions of fairness and equality under the normalization of whiteness and the white rule sworn goal of diversity. White benefit, sympathetic to a set of issues but only privately, won't speak or act in solidarity publicly because benefiting through whiteness in public. Some people of color are in this category as well. White confessional, some exposure of whiteness takes place, but as a way of being accountable, people of color after seek validation for POC. I think that here is where most white leftists are at. I think that most of us don't really try and push our comfort zones to be here, right? To be in these areas, and that's because it's uncomfortable, right? A lot of white people are uncomfortable with, for example, taking on board critiques of whiteness and invest in exposing and marking the white regime, refusing to be complicit with the regime. Like, this is key, right? And it's and whiteness speaking back to whiteness is essentially us speaking to other white people and being like, you need to understand that we have to be trying, not just trying to fight a thing within us. It's not just like an existential, egotistical thing that we're fighting. It is a system, like the system of racism that consistently targets black people, and people of color overwhelmingly. And that is what we need to fight. White traitor actively refuses complicity, names what's going on. Intention is to subvert white authority and tell the truth at whatever cost. Need them to dismantle institutions. And white abolitionist changing institutions, dismantling whiteness, and not allowing whiteness to reassert itself, right? Really important that we push to be here. We push to be here. You know, it could be as simple as completely understanding if you engage in an organization and you see, oh my God, like the entire committee, the entire governance is white. What's with that? This is an organization that is, for example, a tenants union. And, we know that being unhoused, being a homeless person, overwhelmingly affects black communities, overwhelmingly affects migrant communities, overwhelmingly affects racialized people far more than white people, right? Far more. It's far more violent and deadly. And you need to be pushing for an organization that completely understands that at the very least. And you need to be making space and letting black people into your organization for a start. Like if you like make it inaccessible for black people, you're basically not letting them in. If you don't talk about things like anti-racism, if you don't talk about things like these very, very real systemic things, right? We have to push to be here. It's so important. Whiteness is it's a construct, right? It's a complete fucking construct, and we have to understand. I think like the thing that we have to understand is that it has, in the same way, I think about this in the same way that I think about patriarchy, right? The patriarchy has mutilated me as a man, right? It mutilates you as a man, right? It takes you from being a sweet little boy who is just normal, right? And it guts you. It takes any kind of niceness, sweetness, softness out of you. And that is like a form of torture that society inflicts upon just little boys, right? As soon as you get into the playground, you do anything sweet, you do anything cute, you're gay, right? You're gay, you're a girl, yada, 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 right? And I think that we have to think the same way about that with whiteness, right? We are mutilated by that. We are taught that we are the best, we're every hero, we should be the main character, we're civilized, we're this, that, and the other. And it's all a lie. It's a fucking lie. It's like we're in the Matrix. You know what I mean? It's just not fucking true. they've fucking lied to us for decades and decades and decades, centuries. And it's gross because now what the fuck are we? Like, we don't even know what it's like to be a normal human that doesn't have these fucking things, that, you know, doesn't have these fucking biases. We'll never know what that's like, and that's a fucking crime. You know? Anyway, that's where I'm at with this personally, and I think that we just need to be thinking about this all the time. Whiteness is stripped of culture. Exactly. Like colonization. When I spoke to people in the ZAD, on the ZAD in France, if you don't know the ZAD in France, you will have like essentially a fucking, you'll have like a mind-blowing moment when you like think about this. There are people there who are like Britannia, right? And it, in the same way you would like, I think the only way that you could compare this to with like being British is like if you said that you were Celtic, right? No, I'm fucking Celtic, right? I'm Celtic. I live here in what used to be Celt land, right? It didn't have a name, or we don't remember the name. It was completely colonized and destroyed, right? Because that's how they feel about Britannia. France colonized Britannia. France is a state. It's not a place. It's not what it was originally called. For centuries, it was called Gaul, right? The place of the Gauls, like, you know, and Britannia, exactly the same. Like, you know, was Britannia even the name? Was that just the name that the Romans called it? We got colonized by the Romans. We got colonized by the Normans. We got colonized. And then all of a sudden, it's England. And it's like, hang on a minute. You know, and then we're colonizing the Scots, we're colonizing the Welsh, we're colonizing the Irish. And what the fuck is our culture? Like, it was destroyed, completely destroyed. We have absolutely no idea what our connection to the land in this country should be. What is it? What the fuck is it? And we'll never know. We'll fucking never know. Didn't you Celts steal Britain from the Picts anyway? Well, that's what I mean. Like, you just have no fucking clue, like, what the actual culture or history is, because it, you know, states colonize, and when you have a state that is an authoritarian structure, whatever country that you're in, like, it just colonizes, and it just destroys. That's all states do. They just colonize, they destroy, they assimilate. It's fucked, right? But you know, there you go. Anyway, I missed a lot of stuff in the chat there. Reminds me of the White Moderate video by Innuendo Studios. Yeah, I'll have to check that out again. Tucker desperately wants to appear alternative platforming, arguably anti-imperialist, maybe even anti-capitalist voices, or at least perspectives from time to time. His whole gimmick now is just asking questions and bringing on guests that are still palatable to a white evangelical audience. Yeah, well, yeah, he obviously it's a grift for him. I know it is. I don't think for a second he's progressive or good or whatever. I'm so glad my Nocummies went out of the way to talk about white privilege and shit in detail when I was 5. It was also always so weird to see adults not getting it. It was frustrating. Yeah, that's good shit. That's really, really good shit. Most radicalizing thing for me was absolutely just being mixed native and extremely white passing, because holy fuck, the shit white people will confide in me is insane. Yes, right. So someone else did a video about this. Solari, you know the creator Solari. He's Arabic, right, or mixed Arabic and white. I can't remember. I think it might just be Arabic. I can't remember, but like he's white passing, right? That's the, you know, and people in Britain where he lives have just been so fucking racist to his face. And then he's gone, by the way, my dad's Middle Eastern. And people have gone, oh, I'm not racist yet. Like, fully being racist to him. And then going like, oh, I'm not racist though, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no offense, bro. No offense. I mean, like, I can relate to that in terms of I'm quite straight passing, right? I got in a taxi a couple of weeks ago. The taxi driver was like, oh yeah, I had this guy get in my taxi. I thought he was gay, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I was like, what's the problem with that? And he was like, oh, there's no problem with that. And I was like, right, because I'm a queer, actually. And he went, all right, well, you know, no offense, I like everyone, innit? Like, it's like, what? Bro, you were just like fucking homophobic, openly homophobic. Mental. Absolutely mental. Hey David, how are you doing? Welcome in. Everybody go follow David. You know the score. Most people here follow David, but you should just anyway. Feminine traits bad. I'm of the persuasion the most oppressed should lead the movements. They've been at the sharp end of this after all. Absolutely. 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 You know, it's about everybody helping each other, innit? You know, this is the thing. It's like we have this society where, you know, white people, cisgender white people, heterosexual people, men just have the most privilege and the most time and energy because of that privilege. And a lot of the time, it's just trajectory of society, and like that's the way that society is, you know, encourages people to be, where they end up running for like leadership and stuff like that. Like that's why I didn't go for the leadership of GMTU because I thought I was a good leader or anything like that. I did it because I could, and I recognized that it was like a thing that needed to be done, and I knew that I had the privilege and the time to be able to do it. And I said to myself, like, for a long time, I was like, I would much prefer a black woman to be in this position. And I tried to encourage, the chair of our Moss Side branch. She's not the chair of the Moss Side branch anymore, unfortunately, but I tried to encourage her to run for chair of the union. But she wasn't feeling confident. She said, I don't know if I can. She had disabled kids and stuff, and it was like, fair enough. But like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm going to fill this gap because I should, right? Because I should do it. And obviously that's like a point of critical assessment of me, and like I think about like, why did I really want to do that because I wanted to help the union? And like after asking a lot of questions, I'm like, yeah, no, I really think I did do that. I really think I did do that because of that. But the thing is that the fact remains that I was able to do it, and I felt able to do it because of my privilege and the amount of energy and time and resources that I've got, right? And we have to have movements where that stuff is not a barrier to people like Shaker, who should have been, by all accounts, should have been the chair of the union instead of me. But yeah, I think you're right. Feminine traits bad. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what happens. That's what happens. I had someone tell me, thank God your kids are white passing, so they won't struggle as much. Excuse me, people will understand that there's white supremacy and congratulate people who benefit instead of dismantling it. What the fuck? That's crazy. That's crazy. When I shaved my head, I was concerned that racists would begin confiding their racism to me. Yeah, you don't even have to do that, though. That's the thing, right? It happens a lot where I live. I have to tell people I'm not on their team. Fucking hell. For a bit of Celtic culture, see if there's a Samhain a celebration near you at the end of the summer. Oh, no, listen, I do my best, Steph, to try and engage in all that. Like, there are people who do that. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, there are elements of working class culture that are trying to bring that stuff back, right? And trying to figure out the right way to sort of, like, connect with the land in these places that we live, to try and understand what our like actual history is and where we come from and what it means. I mean, my ancestry is Irish anyway, so you know, like even if you go on the other side of my ancestry, like they're also like people who went and colonized Australia, but not like the bosses, right? Like the prisoners, and they were overwhelmingly Irish, right? So it's like, yeah, I kind of understand what my actual culture is. I kind of get like a bit of that, but you know, overwhelmingly, that just kind of like just gets fucking destroyed, right? It's why I was learning Gaelic for a bit, and I just had to stop using Duolingo because of the AI shit and the boss, right? The fucking CEO and that. Yeah, that's completely fucked, Liz. Oh, it's fucking gross. I need to go to some end of summer Celtic festivals. That sounds fun. If you're ever in Manchester, YBE, absolutely. We'll go together, 100%. Getting in shit for not pointing out. I'm so glad I'm an adult now. I can commit to the social consequences of pointing out on myself the amount of times I get a lecture in the car like you can't do that. Yeah, fuck that, honestly. Same issue here in Norway. Oral ancient culture has been suppressed by the Viking Age and age of colonizing. Kind of fucking hate how people here feel pride over that history. Yeah, it's wild, right? Well, that's the thing. White supremacists in the UK, white fash, call themselves Anglo-Saxons. They're like, we're Anglo-Saxons. And it's like, if you look even a minute into your fucking ancestry, you're like Scottish or Welsh or Irish or like from Cornwall or something. You know what I mean? They're like, we're Anglo-Saxons, and it's like, yeah, man, I don't know about that. Like, you know, sure, you could be like, but even Anglo-Saxon, like, what's that? What's Anglo-Saxon? Is Saxony like an ancient place like that actually had like a culture and shit? Like, who fucking knows? They were called like the Goths and the Visigoths, right? I don't know, man. Who fucking knows? It's all been destroyed. Or Dutch. I'm gonna go to the UK. Definitely gonna be hanging out with the pagans. Yeah, hit me up. I know all the crusty pagans for real. Yeah, keep a note of this, chat. Keep a note of this. Can I put a link to this in the chat? Yeah, I can put a link to this in the chat. Oh my god, that link is so long. I'll just take you to that, right? Yeah. There you go. Save it. Always be aiming here. Oh, Danny's calling us, gang. I don't know how much energy I've got to watch Tucker Carlson talk about this, you know. Should we just watch fucking Danny? Let's fuck it off. We'll watch this on Monday, maybe. Maybe not even that. No, fuck it. I'm cleaning the slate. The slate. I'm not having any unfinished things. It's not happening. We're not doing that. What's this? That's just the fucking whatever. Right, fuck it. It's UFOs. Chat, fuck it. It's the last stream of the week. Let's have some fun. It's fucking Danny Dyer. Here we fucking go. So, last time we left him, yeah? He'd just been to this guy's house. Maybe we should play this whole segment again, because it was fucking absolutely mental. So he goes to America. Alright, it's the bit where they start talking about abductions and that, innit? Right, okay. Here we go.
Actually seen a real-life alien with their own eyes. Maybe the evidence of someone who's...
Americans who speak of things like that don't even live in Europe, which makes me respect them less, but there's so-called Odinists in Indiana who aren't really Odinists, they're just Nazi. Yeah, as soon as you hear about, like, Viking shit in the USA, you know that's Nazi shit, right? It's been way more interesting talking about the destruction of culture than watching Tucker whitewashing his anti-Semitism. Yeah, for real. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Yeah, you got here right on time. Right on time.
Been abducted will help me believe that alien visitors have season tickets to planet Earth.
Oh yeah, here we go, chat. This is it.
What do you want? What are you doing? They're pulling us up. Run, Wolf, run!
Oh yeah, the Ian Brown tune, yeah.
In the early
Betty and Barney Hill.
Betty and Barney Hill had an experience of missing time, which followed having seen what they took to be a flying saucer following them as they were on a long car journey. They actually underwent hypnotic regression.
We both described under hypnosis of the car coming to a complete halt, the electrical system dying out, a cluster of men on the highway coming toward us.
Where they tried to insert an instrument, needle-like instrument, just below my navel. And this caused pain.
That initial story of having been abducted by aliens, taken on board a spaceship, being
perfect palate cleanser, right?
The classic alien.
This is what the Thursday streams are all about.
A template for stories which were to follow.
This is it, chat. He's going fucking America. By the way, that is... Listen, chat, is that not like a tiny plane to be going America? When people go America, do they not go on, like, big fucking, huge fucking... You have to, like, go on, like, an intercontinental fucking flight, right? He's on, like, a tiny fucking go-to-France Airbus shit.
I've come to America, the alien abduction capital of the world.
It's BBC Three. Yeah, you're right.
Of a man who's had more close encounters than anyone
Private
else.
charter. Oh, you're right. That is what it is, isn't it?
The media over here are really excited about a guy called Stan Romanek, who says he's got footage of a real-life alien.
You all know this guy, chat.
Romanek joins us live from Denver, Colorado this morning. We have a picture of what you...
He landed and had to get on a smaller plane to get to Denver. That's right. He will have fucking gone... He will have fucking gone to fucking... What, JFK and then got on a small plane to Denver.
You saw out of your window, which you claim is a space alien.
When you look at the video,
so
you can
good.
see the facial features move. You can
This alien was in Trash Bingus last night. Do you remember seeing that?
They need to see proof. They need evidence.
In that stairs game or whatever.
Before I meet him, time for a spot of breakfast.
Time for a spot of breakfast, mate. Fucking God, mate. Fucking Daddy Dyer, mate. I'm fucking Daddy Dyer, mate. I'm a fucking white boy, mate.
So I'm in America.
By the way, everyone needs to know, yeah, that the reason that we're watching this is not necessarily because of aliens. You all know I'm like an alien freak. I'm a fucking ghost freak, yeah? It's the reason that we're watching this is because of Danny Dyer. That's the only reason that we're watching it, because he comes out with some fucking bangers. Okay? That's why we're watching it. Just so everyone gets it. Danny Dyer in the Danny Diner, that's right!
An hour north to
you fucking can't.
A guy called Stan, the most famous alien.
Look at his t-shirt as well. I saw this last time. His fucking t-shirt. It fucking says smut on it, and it's got like an outline of a woman, like...
In America.
$8 for a cheeseburger. How old is this video? Yeah, everyone's talking about the prices. I think this is 2007? 2009? Maybe?
I don't know, I just feel...
This kind of show was standard fare on British telly, BBC Three particular. BBC Three was like the cool BBC channel in the late noughties. And did they discontinue it, David? I can't remember if they stopped doing it. Like, I don't have them channels. I don't watch normal telly anymore, innit? Do you know what I mean? Did they stop doing that? That's about right for the prices. Breakfast is my favorite meal. Egg, sausage, hash browns. $8 for a cheeseburger. That's like a $5, right? That's like £5, £6.
So I'm going to go and spend the day with him. Try and learn a little bit about him. Try and suss him out a little bit. You know, hopefully he's telling the truth.
Didn't finish his pancakes for shame. Didn't finish his pancakes because he's got normal fucking expectations of how big a breakfast should be. Not American expectations. And also, like, huge thing, by the way, but all you Yanks, yeah, you're all super used to that fucking corn syrup shit. Right? I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you fucking right now. If you're British and you're not British, because I'm talking to the Americans, right? When you're British and like you have an American friend and they bring you like a sweet, like a chocolate or a candy or something from America, right? What did I have? I've had 2 American foods that gave me a headache, right? Full English breakfast is a giant amount of food every time I see a picture. Yeah, but it doesn't have the corn syrup. That's the key thing. It doesn't have the corn syrup in it. Everything that you lot eat has got that fucking corn fructose shit in it. It's just full of it. Like pancake mix is in everything. Twinkies, right? I had to... there was like a whatever you called it. American section. There was in the world food section one time in Aldi. No, they don't have a world food section. It must have been in like the special buys, or maybe it was another supermarket. Anyway, I saw that they had Twinkies and I was like, I've never had them. I've heard the Americans talk about them, yeah? and I ate like 3 and got like a migraine. No word of a lie. A migraine. Why would you want sweet peanut butter? It's madness. Insane. What was the other thing I had? Reese's. A Reese's egg. Right? You know, like a Reese's egg. I had a Reese's egg. You know, like a Reese's egg from America. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? You get them from gas stations. Had someone bring one over for me. They were like, oh, you like cream eggs in it? And I was like, yeah. Well, this is kind of like our thing, yeah? And like, I had it. No, not a Cadbury egg, like a Reese's egg. If it was a Cadbury egg, I would have said a Cadbury egg in it. I would have... Just keep saying egg. Right, stop it. Reese's egg. Reese's eggs are the shit. Well, that's the thing. That's why this person brought me them, because I was like, I love cream eggs. Cadbury's cream eggs. They're my favorite thing. They're one of my favorite chocolates. Reese's egg. It's got the peanut butter in it. I had it, and I was like, you know when you're like pretending to not be sick, like you're pretending that something's nice because your friend got it for you. I was like, it was so bad. It was so bad. I'm getting like nauseous thinking about it. I remember how bad it was. I was like, that's not peanut butter. That's just like cream. It's like a sugary cream. It was so bad. And I felt sick for like an hour afterwards. I was like, what the fuck? I have no idea what is going on with your lot's bodies and shit. It's crazy. Every single time I've tried to have like an American sweet, it's just gone so badly. Hershey's. I had Hershey's once. One of my step siblings brought Hershey's back from New York. And they were like, hey, do you want some American chocolate? Like as a joke. Like they knew I was going to hate it. And I had this fucking Hershey's and I was like, oh, it smells like vomit. Like, why does it smell like vomit? Crazy. I was like, why does it smell like actual sick? Gross. And they were fucking laughing at me. Anyway, they're all Zionists, so fuck them, but...
Stan claims that over the last 10 years he's been visited by aliens.
There you go. There's my mule tries American foods anecdote.
As part of a program of secret experiments.
Right, that's true, David. It's got to be part of that, right?
Expect all of this to be going on in a cul-de-sac.
Hershey's is only good for if you're desperate or get it for free.
No bell.
Reese's is a rip-off. Ohio Buckeye could be pretty good if done with good ingredients. Ohio Buckeye.
Hello, Danny.
Pleasure to meet you, sunshine. How you doing? You alright?
Best peanut butter is peanut butter princess. True.
This is your little study. This is your.
Yeah, this is my office.
Out, is it? You know, loving the blinds. Stan's promised to show me some footage that's never been fully broadcast before.
I got up middle of the night to go get something to drink from the kitchen, and I see movement outside of one of the windows, and I'm thinking, you know, you have.
It's like a chestnut thing.
Shot on it. Why don't you set it up next time you see this? Turn off all the lights, point it toward the window, and leave. That's what I did. Bam, there's flash 1.
Wow.
It's outside. Flash 2 is amazing.
Oh, I see the candy.
Now watch right here.
No. What the hell is that?
This is so good, chat. Look at this.
Its mouth. You can see its retinas are reflecting the infrared of the camera. Is it some guy in a mask? I can't tell you. And then I'll see it, and he'll notice.
Plausible deniability there.
That's not human. You can tell it's not human. We call him Boo because he's playing peekaboo. We name all these guys. My wife thinks this is flippin' hilarious. Watch.
Do you know what I mean? Is it a guy in a mask? I don't know. You tell me.
It can be, Stan, yeah, but
you tell me.
I can't get my head around that. Yep. At first, it does look like it's.
I can't get my head around it, he says.
You know, but then yeah, you're right, and then
it's
get your head around it.
Yeah, and then you do see that. I don't know what. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, he's jumping around like he's just pulled a prank.
More bizarre.
That's not how like a scared person acts. Do you know what I mean? He's doing like a comedy.
You're very camp there, Stan, yeah, but
Watch.
That's like how a person thinks a scared person acts. Like Scooby-Doo. Right? That's like a Scooby-Doo moment. Like, zoinks!
What is that?
you're very camp there, Stan, yeah, but I can't get my head around that.
Yeah.
At first, it does look like it's flat. You know, but then yeah, you're right, and then
it starts moving.
Yeah, and then you do see that. I don't know what I can't deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that.
All right.
Can it get any more bizarre?
Trust me. You ready?
Give it to me.
Suddenly, it felt like I had a little sliver in my hip.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to pick it out, and I couldn't get to it, so I decided to go to the doctor. The doctor took a picture.
You know, the thing that you've got to remember. Wait, what does this say? Thank you, Stan Romana, for being a great speaker at the 2007 UFO Olympics. Held at the world-famous UFO watchtower in Hooper, Colorado. Right, Devin. What do you know about Hooper, Colorado? What do you know about this joint? You ever been?
They said, oh, we see something, but we're not sure what it is. And I'm yelling at this guy.
I can spoon race with an alien mask on.
I feel this static shock that literally makes my whole leg jump.
Oh, look at that fucking shirt he's got on.
When it comes...
Shirt. Oh, chat. I'm a naughty boy. Can I go to your room? He had to make sure he had that, like, rapist t-shirt on. While he was like, look at this thing that the aliens put inside my body. By the way, I have a penis and I can use it. Wait, that's the one you went to last month? You went to the UFO Olympics? What? 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 No way. That's so good. It looks like he's showing a positive test of some kind, yeah. Oh, you went to the watchtower at Hooper. You said, I remember you saying. Oh my god, I remember you saying. You were like, I went to like a UFO thing. Or it was on your Instagram or something. I can't remember. Yeah. Post the photos. Yeah. I'd love to see them. Yeah.
I feel this static shock that literally makes my whole leg jump. And this object is fuzzy, white fuzz.
That's funny as hell, dude.
Oxygen, the fuzz starts to melt. We look at it, he says, I've never seen anything like that. It had some kind of structure inside, you can see, but I didn't know what. And that's after I cleaned it up. I put it under black light, it turned orange. I shut off the black light, it stayed orange. Sent it off to the site.
Look at his head. Like, he's just so normal, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's not... That's the thing about Danny Dyer. He's not putting... Yeah, no, but that's the thing, David. He's just being normal, right? He's just being a normal guy. He's not acting or anything like that. That's why these shows were so funny, like Danny Dyer on Gangs or whatever, or Danny Dyer doing yada yada. That's why it was so funny, because he's just like chilling. And he's in here in this like completely mental environment where this guy is like, yeah, I got like a thing put in me from the, like, he's being blasted with information and he's just reacting in the same way that any normal person would react. Do you know what I mean?
I shut off the black light.
Like, just imagine having all this like said to you. And, you know, the producers are in the back going like, this is fucking brilliant. Like, keep filming him. Keep that one camera on him. Keep that one camera on him. We'll get the B-roll later. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you get his reaction. Look at his head.
They sent it to, I think, Cal Berkeley. They found almost germ-sized computer chips in it, in tiny little microscopic gears. When they looked at it, it was nothing we had. It was a cross between nano and biological, some kind of nanobiological organism. It gets even weirder. The scientists finally got surveillance cameras up. This is October 7th, 2003. This scared
4 hours later. Danny dying inside. He got boy preggers from the alien, yeah. It's so good. Hey, Nuclear Slayer, how are you?
Really? More than
Yeah, you'll see why.
Okay.
This was leaked to us. It's a top secret government document with my name on it.
And it says Project Romanik.
Project Romanik.
This is just a fraction of Stan's completely undecipherable, massive archive.
We will follow up as things unfold. Air Intelligence Agency Division. I can understand why that's frightened you more than anything else. Yeah, I mean, why do you feel... I mean, look, I'm looking at evidence. I mean, I can't... my brain is trying to compute what I've just seen there. And, you know, why is that not splashed over every news channel all over the world? Why is it being just swept under the carpet?
It's just like talking to my dad. Why did he wait until 4 hours in to show a top secret document? We looked at this last week. We've already seen this bit, but it's always just good to go back on it. But like, we looked at the document last week. Look at the wording here, chat. Right, look at the wording. First of all, how has he got this? Right? How has he got this? Right, it says Commander, Office of Special Investigations. What are you talking about? Department of the Air Force. Pentagon, Washington, D.C. It's just so made up. It's so clearly made. He's written this himself, and he's just like, this is a document from the FBI, right? Me as a 12-year-old. Be advised, we expect Romanek to have a visitor soon. We will try our best not to miss it this time. They don't talk like this, man. They don't talk like this. We will try our best not to miss it this time. What do you mean? Typewriter font to see more real. I mean, he might have typed it up on a typewriter himself, but he's fucking scanned it in. He's got a scanner, obviously, hasn't he? You know what I mean? This time, it's so funny. The Pentagon is in Virginia, not DC. Yeah. That's great. This is just like the best shit ever. Like, and also this is the best bit, right? This is the best bit. Check this out, yeah? Check this out. Also, HPH worked, Van incapacitated, but Mr. Romanek is smart and stubborn and has a strong support system. It also seems he's getting inside help. He's just like glazing himself. It's really good. Oh my god. This is the second time I've seen this. It's even funnier the second time. I don't know how that's possible.
Next, have a visitor soon. We will try our best not to miss it this time.
But like, Danny Dyer's just reading it, and he's had his head blagged for like 4 hours. That's probably why he only showed him this 4 hours in, because he's like, right, I've fucking creamed this guy's brain up really fucking hard to the point where it's time. He will accept the document, right? He knows that people have a document acceptance level. Was he allowed breaks? Probably not.
Things unfold. Air Intelligence.
Oh god, it's so good.
I can understand why that's frightened you more than anything else. You know, why do you feel? I mean,
Did I say hi, Val? I don't know if I missed you first in chat. Hi, how are you?
Trying to compute.
Other Valerie, Valerie Valkyrie. Posty delivered it straight to the desk.
That not splashed over every news channel all over the world.
Yeah, 4 hours in, defense is completely down.
They have, maybe they're afraid to lose.
Broken him down psychologically.
Maybe they're afraid that they're going to get mud in their face for lying about it so long.
It's the special 4-sided pentagon, yeah.
Alright, thank you.
He's definitely got a killer headache from eating the pancakes. From eating the pancakes earlier, he's got a migraine. He had to sit through this guy chatting rubbish with his shirt tucked in. Oh my god. Since Mr. Romanek is so formidable, we're gonna have to hire top agents from other countries. Ours can't best him. He's fully crashing.
What I've just witnessed with my own eyes. Some of the shit he's shown me in there is unbelievable.
We missed like 4 hours of this as well.
Thank you. I cannot believe what I've just witnessed with my own eyes. Some of the shit he's shown me in there is unbelievable. He's got evidence of aliens poking their head round a fucking window. I don't know whether that geezer just walked back in his house and he's pissing himself at me. Him and his wife are going high five. Cole, we got him good. I just don't know whether I'm losing the plot, I'm going insane, I'm tired, I'm jet lagged, and I'm just believing everything people are telling me, but I'm so excited about it.
That's what it is. He's jet lagged. He's crashing from a sugar overload. And he's just had his head blacked for 4 hours. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, this is so good.
My head is buzzing. I'm shaking. I'm I don't know.
Yeah, I would be too, man. I would be too. Hey Max, what's going on? Few days later, needed a few days to recover. He's had a shave.
Back from America.
He was only in America for a day. What do you mean? Since coming back from America, they put him on a flight to America, and he like spent a day talking to that one guy, and then just came home. What?
I've been thinking about what Stan told me, and as good as his evidence was, and some of it was brilliant, you know, it's just some of it just don't stack up.
No, you're right.
I mean, the implant could be any old bit of plastic, really, you know.
Yeah.
The letters from the US government. I've only got his word for it that they are authentic.
No, but I mean, come on, dude. Just read it. Just read it, man.
Wish I could have took some of that evidence home, studied it a little bit more. But this is what I struggle
I mean,
with.
to be fair, I'm forgetting he'd been creamed up in the mind.
He's got an agent, right? And his agent wanted $50,000 for the footage, and that worries me a lot.
True. $50,000 for the footage? What are you talking about? I guarantee if you look into this guy, he's like a failed film student. He wanted to go to Hollywood. He wanted to be a big studio director. And he was like, I'm so good at making movies that I could convince people that aliens are real.
Hopefully, though, I think this whole UFO business is getting under my skin. I'm hooked. And what I've discovered is UFO fever isn't just an American phenomenon.
Wonder where he is now? Let's Google him. I guarantee he's been on Joe Rogan. I fucking guarantee he's been on Joe Rogan. Let's just try it.
Prologue.
Right, this isn't... That's not Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, Stan Romanek is the center of the world's... Wait, what? He was arrested in 2014 for possessing and distributing child pornography. What? This is interesting for a lot of reasons. First off, if the government actually wanted to discredit someone who had genuine evidence of extraterrestrial, this is probably how they go about it. You don't need to do that for this guy, man. Are you serious? You don't need to do that for this guy. He's just a pedo. You don't need to. You don't need to be like, oh yeah, well, yeah, they obviously wanted to silence him. You can just read any of his fucking letters that he's got. Oh my god. Oh god. Yeah, the little green men were something else. They were something else, chat. Yeah, you know, there's a joke in there somewhere, right? I don't know. Wait, there was no sound on that? Oh, no. Oh, ruined the bit. All right, okay, we'll try again. Hang on. We'll try again. It doesn't work as well when you have to do this.
You need to wake up to the reality of politics. I challenge you to a debate.
Short stack, thick.
What do you want me to say? Okay.
Like the way like goblins get drunk.
That was the bit. That was the right, because we were saying little green men, pedo. You know what I mean. Okay. All right, back to this.
Most of the government's early work on UFOs was secret or top secret. There were a number of reasons for this.
Number of reasons
that we thought we were looking at Soviet activity. The second reason was really that
this guy said something mental in the first part of the video of the episode, the show, whatever, and I can't remember what it was.
The Ministry of Defence is, as you would imagine and expect, an inherently secretive organisation.
And he also said Soviet.
The Ministry of Defence receives more Freedom of Information Act requests on UFOs than any other subject, including the war in Iraq.
I mean, that speaks to like a huge problem with British society, right? No one in 2009, apart from like Jeremy Corbyn and like a bunch of activists, right, were interested in the war crimes of Iraq, but fucking hundreds of thousands of British people were like, UFOs, mate, UFOs, need to know.
Or Afghanistan.
Too much information, well, I said you got far fair.
Those 12,000 sightings are, we know, only the tip of the iceberg. Many people who see a UFO won't report to anyone, either because they fear that they'll be ridiculed.
I mean, that's true. What are you... I mean, look, when we saw a UFO... there might be people in here who've not heard this story, but I saw a UFO when I was about 14. I was on the way to my mate's grandma's house. We used to like go there and stay there at the weekend because they had an under 18s, under 16s band night that you could go to till about like 9 or 10 p.m. And on the way there, there's like a big roundabout in Altrincham, which is kind of like top of Cheshire, just at the bottom of Manchester. And we would go that way towards Northwich, which is where his gran was. And we just saw this, like, it was mad. We were just chilling in the car, like, you know, whatever. Like, you know, you're a teenager in a car, you're listening to tunes on your headphones or whatever. But his dad was just, like, going, like, fuck it, like, pointing, going, like, fuck it. And, like, took my headphones out and, like, looked over there. And I just, like, it's crazy because here's the real reality of what happened is that I saw a thing, my brain didn't compute it properly, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then my brain was like, yeah, that never happened. Right? Because I remember it clear as day, but it was like I immediately wanted to forget about it. My brain was like, you can't have seen that. That's not right. Right? That's like the real thing that happened. But because the thing that we saw was so big, I can't even begin to tell you like how big it actually was, like how big it looked. It looked like we saw like an edge of it. My mate was like, it looked like a box, and I was like, looked like a side of a box. Right? Just like a big fucking line across the sky. There was like a break in the clouds, and it looked like a big line that went sort of across this huge distance in the clouds. But like I said, my brain just fucking made me forget about it. And then years later, I saw my mate, I saw Danny. We just had a pint or something, and he went, yeah, do you remember when we saw that UFO? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I do remember that. There was no way I was going to fucking report it to anyone. Who'd you report it to? Phone the police. What are you on about? You know? So I get that. I fully understand that as someone who like seen something in the sky that was absolutely not like satellite. This is like before the days of Starlink. It was clear as day. It was in the middle of the day, 5 p.m., you know, summertime. So it was bright, big red lights in the fucking sky. Yeah, that's why Danny made this show, obviously. He made it for me, didn't he?
They won't be believed. So when we talk about 12,000 reports in the MOD's archive, we can speculate...
Yeah, it's just crazy, Devin. It's fucking crazy.
...that the real figure is certainly over 100,000.
The only thing they do secretive is create weapons to blow up kids. US and UK so-called defense departments. I get a little annoyed with conspiracy theorists because war crimes isn't a big issue in their minds, so they don't understand why America tries to hide from the rest of the world, who vehemently disagrees with their militaristic conduct everywhere. Yeah. Like that's why I think that like this shit needs to be taken back from the right wing for sure. Because what the right wing do is they go, oh, the government's hiding alien shit, and it's like, well, they could be doing that, but they could also be doing genocide as well. Like, it frustrates me so much that there's like a very new atheist vibe on the left about that stuff, and it's because of right-wingers' reactionary bullshit that they always assume that aliens are like, oh, there's no way that black people could have built this society. Aliens must have taught them how to do it. Like, all that shit's got to go. Like, all that shit's got to go. There's like no fucking basis for that whatsoever. But there is a real basis for people seeing things in the sky that they can't explain, or they don't know what it is. People having experiences that they don't understand. There was like a whole fucking department dedicated to it in the Soviet Union. Do you know what I mean? And I think that, like, yeah, it's like we have to like take that like fucking pseudo fucking spirituality shit back, like just take it away from the right. Like, it's so fucking dumb and gross that they get to be like, you know, the people who talk about that, like the only people who talk about that shit, right?
Gentleman. He's been filming the sky.
Like I've had like multiple paranormal experiences in my life. Like the UFO thing was one. But the fucking other thing was like, I remember multiple times where it's like, oh, something is watching me, or damn, I'm alone in this room and something just moved, you know?
Night for 15 years. I hope he's just going to show me the edited highlights.
There's also a fascination with supernatural outside of aliens, like that Annabelle doll apparently ended someone's life last week. Yeah, no, all that, they shouldn't be allowed to have any of that. Like, fuck off with any of that. You know? The haunted dolls thing is like an incredibly cringe part of paranormal experience stuff. Because I see videos like that all the time. It's the kind of shit I watch in my spare time, right? And you fucking like see some of it and you're like, come on, man, this is so obviously CGI, it's obviously AI, what the fuck is going on? Why do people believe this? You know.
Shut your mad cat. Go away, son.
Welcome to Chateau d'Espair.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Well, it's a bit remote, isn't it?
I mean, it'd be funny thinking about that about like any culture, right? Not just Egyptians, like, you know, like they never say, but that's the problem, right? That's the problem with these fucking racist ancient alien people, is they always say it's like the Egyptians or you know, the fucking Native Americans. They never talk about how it's fucking Stonehenge or what, you know, any white monument. They never talk about that shit, do they? Even though it was like fucking just as like unbelievable that people could move Stonehenge, right? Although maybe that's me thinking like, oh yeah, it's unbelievable that like people were able to do something like that. Maybe that's me not addressing my whiteness, right? But I do think that about Stonehenge for sure. I think like that's fucking like completely, how did they move these fucking rocks from like fucking Scotland to Somerset? And how did they know to put them there and all that stuff? Mental, just absolutely mental.
Every night on your property?
We stick them out here in the garden.
Yeah, Roman Colosseum, right?
Yeah. Every single night that I'm here.
Wow.
The cameras go out here.
Absolutely.
And they just run all night.
You get a kick out of the haunted doll stuff. It's funny. Like, it's actually funny.
For the last few years.
Brilliant. What's this number here?
That's a robotic tracking telescope.
A robotic tracking telescope.
It is indeed, sir.
Wow.
This is what I film the stuff on the moon with.
That's a CCTV camera. What? I guess he just has CCTV cameras all the time pointing at the sky.
Sit and watch every morning.
Hey Al, how are you?
There'll be 8 hours on each machine.
You're here for the good stuff, mate.
Take like an hour
Zoom,
to watch through.
enhance.
What, you just sit there, you just fast forward it?
Yeah, while you're working or having your breakfast and doing all that kind of stuff, making your phone calls, you're just watching it spooling through on both screens. So,
does this guy not have a job?
So that's like 4 hours a day. Times 7, so that's like, say 25 hours a week in, week out.
Home watch area.
It's a lot of work.
The thing is, you've got to look at the screen, no, because like you say,
25 hours a week. You see, like, that's the thing as well, right? This guy could be like organizing. Why are you wasting your time with this shit when you could be organizing? It's so embarrassing.
2 weeks of the year.
25 hours a week.
You've got to look at the screen, no, because like you say, you're having a bit of breakfast or whatever.
You don't see wall-to-wall paneling like that much these days.
Personally, I prefer.
You're
to
right.
watch
Look at this.
Toast, but Wynn's dedication has paid off.
Wait, what did he say?
To watch Soccer AM. Personally, I prefer to watch Soccer AM whilst I'm having my toast, but Wynn's dedication has paid off.
What was this guy's name again? Like Wim Cheg or something? This guy's got a mad name. Right, and here's a fucking phenomena. Yeah? Here's a phenomena. Got how ugly laptops used to be. Here's a phenomena. UFO content will give you some of the most mental names, and I'm not talking about like names of, you know, not non-English people, like people like, you know, names from non-English speaking countries and shit like that. I mean, like, these people have mental names, like crazy fucking names. Like, where is this guy? He's like in one of the very early bits. There's that guy, and then he speaks to the other guy here. Here we go.
Does.
Well, I think that energy and information, whether it's a legacy from our past or an otherworldly intelligence, is actually focused into the plants themselves.
Win Keach. Yeah, he went back to see the same guy. I've sent Han loads of fucking pictures of names that I've seen on UFO things. So I'm gonna have a quick scroll through our pictures and like see if I can find one.
All makes sense to me, son. All makes sense to me.
Right, let's get back to where we were. Where were we? Where he was seeing this stuff. He was in this guy's gaff. He's here, isn't he?
You're having a bit of breakfast.
Winkeach.
Personally, I prefer to watch Soccer AM whilst I'm having my toast. But Wynn's dedication has paid off.
If you watch this carefully, okay, you'll see there'll be a black disc, black triangle. We'll actually now try and push that out of the way. It's actually going to prod it. It's the most astounding bit of footage I've ever seen. So it's drawn back now. And it will actually move towards it. There we go. And that backs away. Actually backs away from it. You can see it pushing it. Just like it, isn't it? Yeah. It's pushing. That's kind of what you're after, isn't it?
Just, I mean, look at that.
Right, well, I'll show you the moon disc.
Hey, Splendid Navy, how are you doing?
Just watch for the bottom left corner.
Get any Dyer, my son.
There it goes. That's
Get any fucking Dyer, my son.
Now, whose is that?
And how fast was that going to predict?
70 miles a second. That's 140 miles across there, and it covered it in real time in 2 seconds.
Fuck me. Oh.
Fuck me. Fuck me.
Wynn may have got the patience of a saint, but I want to see some alien activity tonight.
What are you hoping we're going to see tonight?
The first thing we might spot are some balls of light flying around the field.
Okay.
They're usually a telltale.
And they're like an orb, are they?
They are like an orb, but sometimes quite a bit bigger.
This is it.
And then an event occurring.
And then an event. Wow, that's what we want.
That would be good.
Chasing a dream, no, I never pick up the pen. Always assured, but I like it when we pretend.
Well, these are just 2 recorders.
Right, this is a screenshot from... Oh, we watched this on stream! This was fucking... unexplained... Oh, what was it? Unexplained Mysteries. Right? Unexplained Mysteries, innit? These are guys who were... abducted, supposedly abducted. Jim Wiener, Chuck Rack, Jack Wiener, Charlie Foltz. Just whenever you get it, like the aliens must just like look down a list of names and go, yeah, that one's fucking weird. Chuck Rack. It's real. This guy, you can look this guy up. Chuck Rack, alien abduction. It's him and his, yeah, look. 4 men, Jack Wiener, Jim Wiener, Chuck Rack, Charlie Foltz. It's great. It's just dead good. UFO content has so many names like this. And again, like I said, this isn't like a fucking like whiteness thing, like, you know, laughing at like non-English names and shit. It's like Chuck Rack. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Winkeach.
One for each camera.
Born to be abducted. Born for it. An alien's dream. No one will believe a guy called Chuck Rack. Exactly.
Rather than digital.
Sorry, yeah, old school.
These keep ticking.
Yeah.
I just go with Charles. Yeah, right. Charles and Deed pull the rest.
You know it's dark now, but that's how it looks on the camera now.
It's like the name that a fucking Ozzy Osbourne, like Ozzy Osbourne is a great example. Ozzy Osbourne's not his real name. His real name's Michael Osbourne, right? Was. Anyway, fucking... It's like a name that someone would choose if they were in like a metal band or something.
Yeah, these are powerful, completely weatherproof.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, DJ. Thought it was a
Okay.
Yeah, a stage name. Like David Bowie's not David Bowie's name.
Yeah, it's cost me 20 grand.
Huge part of Anglo-Saxon culture. Well, we were just talking about that, yeah.
Kind of stuff.
No, your chat message was good, but like the bot just thought that C.Rack was a website. And like I can believe that, right? You know, you're not allowed that in Starmer's Britain, mate. Yeah?
I love it, look at it. In there, look. He's on it, twitching away. He's got his eye on everything, 4 different cameras.
The way he's fucking talking about this guy.
Is my bed for the night?
No, to be clear, the bot is not that intelligent. It's just because you put like letter dot other letters. It just thinks that anything like that is a link. And it just purges it straight away. He's looking at him like, yeah, you little fucking nerd, you little bod.
I'm not sure I'm up for all this hanging about. Just waiting for something to happen. If aliens are on Twitter, we could ask them to come and say hello. After all, if it's true that they're sending messages down to Earth, surely they would be trying to communicate with us.
His chat is so good. Oh, this is going to be fucking
and
West.
In 1954, George King, who at that time was a taxi driver...
Yeah, not sure I could be arsed with this.
that he was contacted by telepathy by these advanced...
He's thinking about watching Soccer AM.
...who inhabited Venus, Mars and various other planets in the solar system, who spoke to him via telepathy and said, prepare yourself, you are about to... you've been called...
That's exactly what it is, Splendinavia.
Parliament. And from that point onwards, he started to receive telepathic messages. And
aliens saw our news media and were like, nope, yeah.
Who is going to speak to you this evening, if you can get in touch?
Intelligence from the planet Venus.
Well, this is the thing, chat. This is what, like, you know, the annoying thing about conspiracy theorists is they always have, like, a grain of truth, right? And after Hiroshima, right, it was the 80th anniversary of that a couple of days ago. After Hiroshima, there was a extremely credible and well documented from multiple sources event where apparently several UFOs were seen landing at the White House, and Eisenhower was like, in a fucking secret document, yeah, shit, we have to create this Project Blue Book. It's really important that we figure out how what aliens mean, like what these extraterrestrials are, what they want, yada yada yada. Project Blue Book was a huge thing. It's like a huge real thing, and then it escalated to the point where it started covering stuff up, and then it was like, nah, we don't need Project Blue Book anymore. Aliens aren't real, right? That was the whole thing, and it's like, okay, what the hell? And some of the most credible UFO reports are intercontinental missile bases from the Cold War that have nuclear weapons in them. And they're about, like, chilling, you know, whatever, like, you know, there's just, like, fucking squaddies in the base. And then UFOs turn up and just, like, deactivate the entire system, right? And they're all going, like, shit, is this the Soviets? They've got, like, a new technology. They're able to, like, do this and shit and fucking scrambling around and trying to figure shit out. And then the Soviets had, like, multiple reports of their own. And then you've got, you know, instances of aliens communicating with people saying things like, yous are fucking up your planet and you need to stop bombing each other and shit like that. It's really bad. Those are like the most fucking credible ones to me, right? Not these ones where it's like, yeah, I had sex with an alien and now I have like an alien son on another planet, but there are aliens also walking amongst us and yada, 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 right? That's where it starts to get insane. But that kind of shit makes sense to me. And maybe it's not aliens. Maybe they're not extraterrestrials. Maybe they are us from the future, right? Because they look like us. They're never like tentacles or gas or any other kind of being. They always look like us, right? And it's like, it could just be us from the future. And we're trying to warn ourselves of blowing each other up. And actually, that's like a really bad timeline. Who knows? But yeah.
We call it theories.
Anyway, never get me going on UFOs.
You now
just never get me going on UFOs.
I will try.
I'm convinced that UFOs are fucking communists. Gas aliens would be pretty sick. Yeah, it would.
Evening.
Good evening.
My dear friend.
Your name is?
I am known as Ethereus.
It's also just like assuming like some mad stuff here, right? Like aliens can speak English, like they say things in the same way that we do. How does he know what they're saying? How do aliens communicate with words? You know? Surely they would have all bopped all the fash if they were commies, though. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Bopped them off. London Cabby George founded the world's first UFO religion. What?
We're saying that the Star of Bethlehem...
Wait, what? What was that? What's going on there?
We're saying that the Star of Bethlehem was a UFO. Absolutely, definitely. We're also saying that UFOs are reported in different ways in many parts of the Bible, the Holy Bible. In Operation Prayer Power, everybody comes together. We have a prayer team who are approaching the battery, putting their hand up against the...
What? We've got a prayer team. We've got a prayer team. They approach the battery. They raise their hand up against it. And what?
Of that battery, everyone is using the mantra to send energy through them while they pray. This is where we have direct cooperation with beings from other planets.
Oh, the planetary ones.
That energy is stored.
Hey, Philotas, how you doing? What is this?
Oh, the planetary ones.
That energy is stored.
Are the planetary ones what?
Battery. And then later on, of course, we can use that to bring healing and peace to the world.
You know, I was talking before about how states colonize land. Yeah. British people were fully colonized. We have no idea what our culture was before we were totally assimilated into this like pseudo Baudrillard simulacra simulation of reality, right? But what am I talking about? Here it is. This was us. This is us. This is what we do. It's got to be a new sub alert. You're right.
I think communicating with aliens.
Yeah, some guy walks over and is just like, you don't need to talk like that.
Fantastic. But I wonder if getting in touch with that lot up there could increase my chances of seeing some hard evidence. I've had a call from Phil in Shropshire. He's hoping to start up an intergalactic powwow tonight.
Fucking hell, man.
Phil, it's probably safe to say, is obsessed with the idea of aliens, with the idea of, you know, people from other planets, you know, making contact with us. So what he does is he goes to the top of a hill, another hill. There's always hills involved. He goes to the top of a hill with some friends of his, people.
You see what I mean? He's just so normal. He's just a normal guy. He's just like, can't be arsed walking up a hill. I can't be arsed waiting around all night. I've got a mad headache from this guy talking to me for 4 hours about how he got things put in him by aliens and shit like that. This is just like a normal person. He's just a normal dude. I'm just gonna get some water, chat.
And he's gonna try and make contact. You know, let's see what happens. Maybe tonight's the night.
I finally gave myself a time to see you. I finally gave myself a time to see you for a while.
What we try and do is to try and create some sort of interaction by telepathic communication, or even sending out a request signal to anything that's possibly in this area. On the tape is a recording.
Yeah, what if you just span some mad tunes though?
With some of these races, and they're going to talk in their language and ask and request for an interaction.
Just a tiny little, just something, just anything, just a sign.
Well, what it is, any sort of presentation, I mean, it could be that something's actually seen.
Look at him, he really doesn't want to be there.
A craft or some object.
He's not dressed appropriately, even remotely. He's got like a fucking thin, fake H&M leather jacket on. With a fucking shirt on. Look at his face.
Sent itself, orbs or whatever.
Everyone else here has got a proper North Face cagoule on, you know?
Tape, and he's putting it up against some sort of CB radio, and he's putting a message out there. I mean, this could be absolute genius, real, or a complete load of bollocks. I never quite know. Until I haven't experienced myself, I'm never going to know.
Just put the tape on.
It's proper thin, innit? Look at this rogues gallery chat. Every British man is represented here, by the way. This is like every British man that you will meet. Right? Inky, Blinky, Stinky, and Clyde. Pinky. And Danny Dyer. It would take more than 4 years for a radio message to reach our nearest star. Every single one of them has fantasized about fondling a Dalek's bumps.
It looks quite eerie out there anyway, doesn't it? They all look like spaceships, man, and clouds, don't they? Don't they? Never seen clouds like that before. People watching this, I think he's a complete, absolute raving lunatic. But is he? That's what's open for debate. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm standing on a hill, 10 o'clock at night, freezing my bollocks off.
I knew he was cold. I knew he was too cold.
If I believe something in it, I do.
You could just tell.
We've come up here on a really clear night. We're trying to make contact now and saying, right, bump, we're here. We've got a young cockney who wants to believe, wants to get involved. But they, nothing. Not a fucking thing. And I want to believe so much. I keep thinking I'm seeing things, but I'm not. Am I going mad myself? Am I going insane? I don't know.
This is just such good content.
The next one you can, but at the end of the day, it's not really dark enough, and at the end of it could be something could come along later on. So we'll stay and keep a watch for a while.
Phil.
Cheers, mate.
Proper good telly, this.
Thank you.
Debate them into submission, Danny.
Lovely man.
There's so many classic Danny bits.
For humanity, which, you know, he's a strange-looking superhero, but, you know, in my eyes, he is a bit of a superhero, you know? There should be a lot more people like him. I think the government should give him a few quid to do his bit of, you know, his experiments, and why not? You know, because there's definitely strange things going on out there, unexplainable things. And
he's kind of right. He's kind of right. That's the thing. He's just got like a proper normal take. Right? He's just got a proper normal take on this stuff. He's like, yeah, like there's stuff that people don't understand. There should be money going into this stuff. Universal basic income.
What are you going to do then? Once they'll come down and start shaking everyone's hand, you know, and they probably...
Yes, that's right, DJ, yeah. He's a famous British actor.
Need some sort of proof now. I need something. I need to see something.
I know he says he's a normal guy, but he does seem a tad gullible. Yeah, but like most normal people are gullible. That's the thing, right?
The more you ignore me, the closer I get. You're wasting your time.
I didn't understand it all, but now I get it. Fucking Morrissey.
You're wasting your time.
I'm nearly.
Oh, he's back in what? He's back in the USA? Oh, this is part of the previous trip.
Life UFO. I've come back to America to visit the UFO believers' holy shrine.
Ain't no way you came back to America. Simply no way.
Mountain over there that the first ever flying saucer was seen. This is like a pilgrimage for me. It's my last chance to prove that everything I want to believe is true.
Oh wait, is he going?
A guy called James Gilliland, who basically owns a UFO research centre a couple of hours away from Portland. I'm hoping it's going to be quite a hippie,
Boy in salsa,
sort of a hippie feel to it. You know what I mean? Free love and all that, and everyone just sort of sitting around talking and, you know, being generally nice. Don't know what he's going to make of a Cockney. You never know what Americans make. You know, Cockneys, they a Cockney in a pink shirt and all. You know, going for the Essex boy look. You know, just spend the night with them and you know.
He's kind of right though, chat. Right. A lot of Americans think that every British person is just like Mary Poppins and shit like that, especially in these days. I remember when I was speaking on Xbox Live with fucking Americans back in the day, and they'd be like, "Oh, British cup of tea," and I was like, "I'll fucking kick your head in, you cunt." Do you know what I mean?
The idea is I'll see something, you know, so I'm just going to be looking at him.
I'll fucking batter you little winnet.
James's ranch is a magnet for true UFO fanatics. There's been more sightings here than anywhere else in the world. Even Robbie's been known to drop by.
James, I'm Danny.
Danny, welcome to He Said He.
Thanks for having me. What a beautiful place.
Couple hours from Portland. This should be interesting. Used to live in Oregon. Ah,
that's pretty amazing. That is.
This is like the field of dreams where all the paranormal activity.
Have you been here, YBE?
Come out and watch the UFOs.
Really?
Come and buzz us on a regular basis.
Well, this is my mission. I just want to see one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I want to believe.
Yeah, you'll see one tonight, I'm sure.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I've been struggling, man. I've been running around for nearly 2 weeks, nothing. So you think you're that confident?
No, yeah, you'll see something.
Not thought about talking smack on Xbox Live in a long time. Yeah, you see, pal.
Right here at the very center.
That's why you come here.
There's a huge light, and it's like a door that opens up, and things come out of it. And then they go in and out of the mountain right here, and we have all that on film. We have the door opening and just all kinds of phenomenon happening.
Really?
Sell fucking apples round here, you fucking yank.
It's a perfect spot, isn't it? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
I was just going to say, you're probably
he's feeling it.
The energy, because you feel the energy before you see them. This is a really high energy vortex area here.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to react to it, you know, because it's something I've been wanting to see since I was a kid. And do you think you really have to believe to have an encounter? Because some people I've spoke to never really believed, and then they had an experience, and then they became quite obsessed with it.
Well, you know, science has proven that you actually see with your brain.
Yeah.
That your eyes are picking up billions of bits of information. Your brain chooses.
Yeah, a door in Mount Rainier. Have you been up there? Take a look around, right?
What you can use in your reality.
That's why he's so excited, because he's not cold. He's in the sun. It's like a nice summer's day in fucking Oregon, right?
It's really wrong to say...
It looks like Mount Jefferson.
When I see it, it's better to say, you know, I'm just open to the experience, anything's possible, and allow the universe to teach you.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
James's preparation for a night of UFO watching is a little more complicated than packing a few sarnies. If I want to see something...
If by complicated, does he mean racist?
Spectacular.
Let's find out, chat.
I've got to open my mind to the powers of the universe.
Don't really know what to expect with this, but I don't want to something I've never done before. These are obviously old hat at it, they're old pros, and I don't want to mug myself off really, but I suppose the whole idea of it is letting yourself go, isn't it, and not feeling embarrassed about things. So bring it on.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be racist.
Spiritual.
Yeah, this is gonna be fucking hella racist.
Okay, so let's start with the 5 element postures. Everybody's gonna stand up. Hands come up and out to the side.
Or it might just be a bit of yoga. I don't know. Danny's describing my thought process when people want to do karaoke. Packing a couple of sarnies, is that a bit? No, yo, sandwiches, sarnies. You're not even ready for what we call them in the north. You don't even know. You think P. Wet's crazy. Wait till you hear about this. fucking butty, mate? You want a fucking chip butty, mate? You want a fucking chip butty? That's why I love this stream. It's so educational. Exactly. You're just learning stuff every day. Every day is a school day.
Hey, right on, man.
Well, sandwiches pieces in Scotland? I did not know that.
I haven't felt this popular in a long time.
British food is not real food. Yeah, nah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm not entirely convinced that meditating will bring on those.
Alright, that wasn't as racist as it could have been. It still felt a bit racist, but it could have been worse, right? As a kid, I used to say sugar butties instead of swearing sometimes. That's super cute.
I feel a bit pissed and a bit... I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't know.
Wait, what? What's he saying?
I feel very, very strange. I feel a bit pissed and a bit... I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't know whether it's... I don't know whether I could totally let go because of what other people were doing. It was sort of put me off a little bit. Like shaking and all that, but something's happened to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's all about. I don't know. This is going to the other level of the whole UFO thing. For me, when I first started this job, it was about looking up in the sky and seeing a spaceship. You know.
He's had pancakes again.
This is about, you know, having to.
He's had a Reese's egg.
To be able to be in touch with them, and you go into yourself because obviously you've got to hold these positions, and all you got is your brain and your fucking thoughts. And for me, it's not necessarily a good thing.
I shouldn't be laughing at him because it's like he's probably talking about trauma or something, and it's dead sad, but it's just the way he says it. He says it like he wants to have a fight. Yeah, check him twatting this ciggy.
I don't know what it's all about.
Yeah, fucking Siggy.
I don't know.
Fucking right in there. Yeah, go on, son.
I don't know. This is going to the other level of the whole UFO thing. Spiritually, to be able to be in touch with them, and
what have they done to him?
Because obviously you've got to hold these positions, and all you got is your brain and your fucking thoughts. And for me, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Quality. That's got to be an alert, without a shadow of a doubt.
UFO. Hello. UFO. Hello.
I love the idea of having a bit of land. We can do what you want with it, fine. This is his plot. He's got his ranch. So he likes to look at the sky, so he's built a little tower. I love the idea of having a bit of land. We can do what you want with it, fine. This is his plot. He's got his ranch. So he likes to look at the sky, so he's built a little tower.
I'm weak. It's just like the way that he says that is just so good.
We can do it.
UFO. Hello.
I love the idea of having a bit of land. We can do what you want with it, fine. This is his plot. He's got his ranch. So he likes to look at the sky, so he's built a little tower.
They come in peace. We stay in war.
That is awkward.
We like to get drunk.
Oh my god.
Here you go. So here we are in America. And look at this plot here. Look at this. Believe you me, that ain't a set. The BBC won't pay for no set, mate. We've come full circle.
BBC won't pay for no set.
Spotted. Hopefully this ain't going to be the last.
Hey, Beanie Gaby. Oh, let's look at the sky. It's built a little tower. It's funny as shit, honestly.
beer. Celebration, isn't it?
He's having a beer. Celebration.
See, with the naked eye, you can't really see anything up there.
No.
And with this, I just keep scanning.
Yeah.
And same thing with your night vision. Between the two of us, we should be seeing something.
Yeah, up there.
Whereabouts?
That's a bright one. See it? If you look through it up there, straight ahead. Yeah, where's the laser point?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Wow. Get on that.
Get on that.
Is that one?
I got him, yeah. That is, we got him.
Is that it?
No, it's a satellite.
Hey guys, check it out. It's coming in from the south. Towards the mountain.
Fucking hell. That's massive, isn't it?
Hey, trans women.
Where's it going?
Going over towards the mountain. Oh, look, another one. This one just powered up right underneath him and took off. See, you have this one and this one? He just took off right underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Right, unless I see him move direction, this is just a satellite.
Did you guys see it power up? Yeah. Oh, man, it was huge.
It's like having a UFO overdose. Yeah, it was my first hit's like a massive one.
I think we'll have some more.
Oh, look at the mountain. Look at the mountain. Look at the mountain.
We got a light on the mountain. See it? Oh, here he goes. Whoa, look at that.
That is bright.
Look at that. Look at how bright that is.
What is that?
Look at that. It's actually a doorway to the inner earth, and the ships come in and out of it. And what's strange is we see things going in and out of the mountain all the time, but if you go up there, there's just a huge lava face there. There's nothing there.
Whoa.
What was that?
Whoa.
Did you do a line?
Nah, I didn't do a line, just massive flash.
That was the big flash that kind of like line, huh?
Yeah, look, there's again, there it goes.
Does you see more?
I've seen about 4 or 5, I can't believe it.
Not too bad, the mountain actually in the sky.
Don't know what to do with myself. I've got one here, look.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Is that not one there, maybe? It's like a red colour.
Look at that. Look at that on this. Oh, look at that.
Wow. I've done it. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? That is a fucking UFO.
Sure, man.
That is a fucking UFO.
Oh, hang on. Whoa, did it move or is that just the camera? Well, I guess we're never gonna know. Well, there you go.
So I did it. I saw an unidentified flying object. Now, I know you cynics out there are going to say it was a meteor, it was a space station, it was a satellite, you know, but for me, it was a UFO. And it was a magical experience. And no one can take that away from me. I think the one thing I've learned on the course of this journey is where there's belief, there's hope.
The fucking edit, man.
And that's the one thing that keeps all these guys going. And I hope that one day, in my heart of hearts, they'll all be proved right.
It's a long, dark road.
He's forced himself to believe, right? It was a satellite. See, that's the thing. I actually talk like that, though, don't I? And, you know.
These many nights I've been
Good. It's good that you all feel comfortable to mock it when it's coming out of his mouth, and it's good. It's good that you feel like that.
here, my companion.
I'm joking.
With a bedroll and a
Need that hopeful energy. Just messing with you, DJ. We need that hopeful energy for our anarcho-communist future. Right, exactly.
From the darkness, I'll come rapping at your door, and I'll never.
Former super.
Well, There you go. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, quality. Chat, that was great. Absolutely incredible. I cannot even begin to tell you how much I needed that. Oh, hold on to that hopeful energy for the future. It's all we got. Best documentary I've seen in a long time. Need to letterboxd it. Do you reckon you can get it on Letterboxd? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I would love to carry on, but I am knackered and I've been working for 11 days straight and I don't really have any content after after that to watch anyway. But stick around for the raid. We're gonna go ahead and raid someone. Super wicked stream. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you for all the support, folks. I really appreciate that. It is on Letterboxd. All right, like I say, stick around for the stream, and for the raid even. Let's go find someone to raid. I will be back. On Sunday with Red Planet. It's me and Tim. It's me and Tim. And I don't know what we're going to be talking about because we haven't really decided it yet. Who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid? Let's have a look. Cool, everyone's live on a fucking Thursday, hey? I will take care. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for all the support today. Thanks for all the donos. 2 huge donos. Some bits. Thank you for the bits. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the follows. Had a couple of follows. I think, maybe. Can't remember. Might have been layover memories from yesterday. Don't forget, chat. New video is out. Go and check it out. It's at the top of the Twitch chat. You can go and check it out there. Or you can just go on my YouTube channels. And you can find them there, innit? They're there in the chat straight away. If you liked my YouTube video, you can join the Patreon. Go ahead and check out the Patreon. Who are we gonna raid? Let's raid Joan. Joan's live. Let's see what she's saying. All right, join me for the raid. Oh!
Some people who died recently, and it's a funny moment for everyone to share that.
She's watching a Tabernacle video. Incredible. That's how you know it's going to be phenomenal. All right, folks. There we go. We got the raid target. I'm going to go and put my feet up and enjoy some much needed R&R. So, I shall see you on Sunday. If I don't see you on Sunday, I will see you on Monday. I'll be back here on Monday. Same mule time, same mule place, 7 p.m. UK time, till late. Thanks for the stream. Good night. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, mods. What mods? What mods? You mean me? Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for being in the chat. Yeah. I'll see you in the next stream. I'll see you on Sunday, or I'll see you on Monday, or I'll see you in a VOD. You can catch up on my VODs on here. All right. See you later, gang. Stay excellent to each other. Mwah, peace.